Good morning, I'm Colby Thielen. Right now at 4, a child is sent to the hospital after being hit in a hit and run. We have the latest on that search for the driver. It's all ahead. And the reigning MVP breaks a record that stood for more than 6 decades. A recap of last night's close game against the Celtics and SGA's latest achievement coming up.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Megan Gold. We have almost made it to the weekend and big time changes are headed our way today, tomorrow. Very, very warm, and then a strong cold front arrives. We'll talk about your forecast coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Wow, what a night it was. If you stayed up late and watched sports, I mean, OU, as you pointed out, beat A&M.
Cannot believe it. Yeah.
And then the Thunder, unbelievable, it win in a close game, and SGA on his home court breaks a record that stood for 63 years.
I'm so glad it was able to happen at home, too. It doesn't always work out that way.
And that crowd, the commentator even pointed it out. It's like the crowd is anxiously awaiting. They're anticipating, and then when he hit the shot, it just erupted. What a moment. We're going to show it to you. Very exciting. Also exciting, we got a beautiful Friday ahead of us.
It's spectacular. Today will be beautiful. Tomorrow will be very warm. Temperatures into the 80s. This afternoon, we're talking 70s. And then our strong cold front arrives for your Sunday. And Sunday, kind of a miserable day. Just a chilly day with a very, very strong north wind. For today, we have this little weak boundary, a wind shift coming in. That will give us a northeast breeze into the afternoon. Look at all the high wind warnings, winter storm watches, and warnings up to the north from the area of Spin, kind of driving in that boundary. Here's a live look on our Lucky Stars Skycam network. Happy Friday to you. We've almost made it to the weekend here. 48 is our temperature right now. The air was very dry yesterday, 49% humidity. El Reno, 50 degrees, 45 in Chickasha, 54 in Guthrie, and 53 in Watonga. So no 20s and 30s this morning. We're in the 40s and 50s. Much more comfortable, and south winds are pretty breezy. We've had a few gusts to 30 this morning, so 10 to 20, maybe a few gusts 25 to 30. And as we go through the day today, sunshine, a light breeze, and temperatures in the mid 70s this afternoon. We'll talk all about that cold front for the weekend and the 9 days coming up. Colby, back over to you.
Pretty special. Yeah, very impressive achievement.
It was amazing to see. I'm so excited for him. He's such a valuable asset to the city.
A valuable asset to the city, not just the team, the city. I couldn't agree more. We're hearing from fans this morning reacting to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's big night last night. The league's reigning MVP beat a record that stood for 63 years against the Celtics. That record was of scoring 20 or more points in consecutive games. It was previously set by Wilt Chamberlain back in 1963 at 126 games in a row with 20 or more points. Well, Shai scored 35 last night. It helped the Thunder win 104-102. Way to go, Shai. Man, this is the moment right here that he broke the record. Pretty awesome inside Paycom Center. We'll have a full recap of that game coming up at 4:30. Some other headlines to get to this morning. A 9-year-old is rushed to the hospital after a hit and run. It happened near the Northwest Expressway in Wilshire just before 9 o'clock last night. At last check, police still looking for that driver. We're going to pass along those updates as soon as they come into the newsroom. And the Oklahoma City Fire Department's dive team rescues a man from his truck after it ended up in Lake Overholser. This is the scene shortly after 11 yesterday morning, right near Northwest 16th and East Overholser Drive. Look at that. Firefighters say they rescued the man from the truck after a nearby kayaker spotted it in the water. They called the authorities. They say the man hit a tree before eventually rolling into the lake. At last check, his condition has not been released, but we'll continue following. And on the southwest side of Oklahoma City, police identified the man arrested who's accused of stealing a taxi and leading officers on a pursuit. Police say that they were trying to arrest Carter Nowicki Wednesday for a felony warrant when he stole the cab and drove off, they say. Officers ended the pursuit with a tactical maneuver. They spun him out right near Southwest 29th and Portland. A man is charged with first-degree manslaughter after the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says his blood alcohol level was over 3 times the legal limit. It was during a crash that killed an 18-year-old Coweta student. Troopers say Isabella Clay was driving on Highway 72 in Muskogee County early Sunday morning when Levi Crawford crossed the center line and hit her. She died on the scene. Troopers say Crawford shows signs of impairment. He was taken to the hospital and released, but later surrendered to the Tulsa County Jail. He is set to go to court on Monday and right now is being held without bond. The Jewish community across the country, including right here in Oklahoma, is hurting this morning after a gunman crashes into a synagogue in Michigan yesterday. The attacker was killed by security before he could injure anyone, but the attack is raising concerns. News 9's Shelby Love shows how a Metro synagogue is responding this morning.
After a deep breath, Rabbi Abby Jacobson told us the Emmanuel Synagogue in Oklahoma City has recently seen an increase in hateful messages.
We've definitely seen an uptick in unpleasant forms of communication.
But seeing the outpouring of love and support locally and in Michigan means more.
Already saying, we're sorry, we love you, anti-Semitism has no home here. We appreciate it, we need to hear it.
Rabbi Jacobson says Jewish people aren't the only ones feeling unsafe and seeing an increase in hurtful messages.
Being different isn't always safe. And we are not the only people who are different.
Rabbi Jacobson says instead of getting stuck in your feelings, take action, like calling a lawmaker or donating to a cause.
By doing something that is helpful, by taking a helpful action, we feel less powerless.
And Rabbi Jacobson shares a strong message for the Jewish community: don't give in to despair.
We can't be too bitter, we can't be too scared, but we together will also find reasons to be happy. And we together will live our best lives, and that will be the best answer to anti-Semitism.
Shelby Love, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
News 9 also spoke with the Jewish Federation of Greater Oklahoma City, which says just this week it held a town hall for safety practices and policies. We're also following a developing story overseas where officials right now are searching for a U.S. military refueling plane that crashed in Iraq. Military officials say that plane was part of an operation happening in Iran when it went down yesterday afternoon. The U.S. Central Command says the crash was not caused by hostile or friendly fire. A second aircraft was damaged but landed safely. It's not clear if the crew has been found. We'll be following. Governor Kevin Stitt met with Senate leadership in Washington, D.C. and the president yesterday, all about appointing someone to fill Senator Markwayne Mullin's seat. News 9's Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron asked him about the talk that he may enter that race himself. Here's what he said.
Are you interested in running yourself, sir?
Not just interested right now in picking the very, very best person for this position and representing Oklahoma as well. And we're going to find a great one.
Not interested right now. Well, President Trump tapped Senator Mullin to lead Homeland Security. His confirmation in the Senate is next Wednesday. We'll be watching that. And if confirmed, he'd step down from the Senate. Governor Kevin Stitt's appointee would serve until a special election. Representative Kevin Hern has already announced his campaign. Attorney General Getner Drummond says that his office will likely sue a second insurance company, accusing it of underpaying damaged claims. This all stems from Drummond's efforts to intervene in a lawsuit where an Oklahoma family claims State Farm underpaid wind and hail claims by redefining what counts as damage. Attorney General Drummond sat down with News 9's political analyst Scott Mitchell and says that his investigation has revealed a much bigger problem.
I can assure the listeners in this broadcast segment that every insurance company in the state of Oklahoma is being reviewed by my office. We have reason to believe there's one, I don't want to disclose them yet, will more likely than not be sued by my office in the next 4 weeks.
All right, we'll be watching that. The AG and State Farm scheduled to argue in front of the state Supreme Court on April 27th. The Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office is warning of fake IRS emails making the rounds right now. Deputies say those messages claim that you owe taxes and then demand payment, which is a scam. The Sheriff's Office says the IRS never initiates contact with taxpayers by email to request payment. Ugh. Another scam. It's infuriating, Megan.
So many scams. I've gotten text one recently from is it the DMV?
Oh yeah, I've gotten the DMV text. I got a DMV text from North Carolina. They're like, the North Carolina DMV. I'm like, no.
I mean, you lived there.
Not
You're
in
from there.
not in a long time, buddy.
It's been a while.
Good try, though. Hey, today looks fantastic if you're hitting the roads or just, go cruise with the windows down, Megan.
Exactly. Today will be beautiful. Tomorrow we're very, very warm before our next cold front hits. Get outdoors, enjoy today. Sunday will be an inside day as a strong cold front comes blasting through. That storm is still well up to the northwest. We'll talk all about your weekend forecast. Also next week, when do we get more rain? What about severe weather? It's coming up.
Also coming up, the Sooners still dancing in the SEC tournament. The big win, keeping Oklahoma's NCAA hopes alive. We're breaking it down coming up. Megan was just pointing out to me in the break that we are a week away from the first day of spring.
And it's Friday the 13th.
It is Friday the 13th.
Normally you tell me that. I have been made aware.
We've had 2 Friday the 13th just within the
exactly
last few
what
months.
I've said. Isn't that weird?
That's kind of weird.
It doesn't worry me, but I know a lot of people. That's a thing to them.
I'm not superstitious.
I'm not either.
Just a little stitious. Great Michael Scott joke. All right, today we got a great forecast on tap for you. It's going to be a beautiful Friday. What a way to start the weekend.
Beautiful. Today winds are lighter in the northwest, so we actually didn't have any big issues with fire yesterday. That was a good thing. Winds are very gusty in the northwest yesterday, and as we're talking about spring here, St. Patrick's Day, 4 days away, and I think.
Right.
Are they turning, is it the Bricktown Canal that turns green today?
Myriad Gardens.
Myriad
They're
Gardens.
going to turn it green today, yeah.
Gotcha.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah. And then again, first day of spring, the vernal equinox to be very specific, 7 days away, and then the spring holidays just go on from there. So as we look ahead, temperatures, we do have a brief dip in the road coming this weekend with a strong cold front, but next week, especially the first day of spring, we're talking temperatures in the 90s. So it will be more like summertime, a warmer than normal, and surprise, surprise, a drier than normal pattern. Very little in the way of rain chances on your 9-day. Here's the big picture this morning. A weak little front, little wind shift coming in. We'll have a northeast wind through the day today, a northeast breeze. So fire danger, not a big concern, maybe moderate out to the west, but up in the northwest, there's an area that is bringing in our cold shot and our wind for your Sunday. So again, the warm up continues today, tomorrow. Here's our brief cool shot. It's like a 2-day deal. Your Sunday, your Monday, very chilly, kind of back to more of a February feel. That pushes off to the east, and look what happens. This ridge of high pressure takes over, keeps us very dry and very, very warm, shuts off the rain chances for a good week. But we're watching a storm coming in from the west sometime towards the last week of the month. That would be the potential for our next rainmaker, and even then, looks pretty dry. Here's the live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network, our Chickasha camera, 48 degrees. If you were with us yesterday or if you stepped out the door yesterday morning, we were in the 20s and 30s. Hard freeze yesterday morning, so about 20 degrees warmer right now, 40s and 50s across the metro. So a lot of improvement, a few isolated upper 30s, but again, very, very mild. That is thanks to a warming south wind at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, a gust or 2 to 30, 19 miles per hour down in Hobart right now, 12 miles per hour down in Ardmore, and areas like Kingfisher about 20, 25. This afternoon's a beauty. Low to mid to upper 70s. A few spots in the southwest, 80 degrees, a few clouds around, normal highs for this time of year, 62 degrees. So we are well above that. And overnight tonight, winds are light, skies are clear, temperatures still very mild, upper 30s and low to mid 40s. Tomorrow, we're going to take it up a notch. And again, this is the day to spend time outdoors before our next cold front hits, which is for your Sunday. So tomorrow, near record highs. The record high is 85 degrees. And again, normal is 62. So about 20 degrees above that. We'll have a few clouds around and a south wind at 15 to 25. Sunday morning, temperatures will be in the low 60s. Cold front comes blasting through and temperatures fall all day long. Sunday afternoon, we're in the low to mid 40s up to the north, 50 degrees in Oklahoma City, 60s and 70s, but with a north wind 30 to 50 miles per hour, it will feel much chillier than that. This is going to crank up the fire danger. The thing that will help us out is we will have humidity that is up some. So it's not real low humidity, but the strong winds, the ongoing drought, and even a slight chance for a shower or two. I think with the wind, that is really an emphasis on slight. But regardless, that's your cool shot for the weekend. So again, 76 degrees today with sunshine. Your Saturday, 81. It's a beauty. Cold front comes in and a high of 50 on Sunday, 49 on Monday. And guess what? We turn a big corner, St. Patrick's Day on Tuesday. Temperatures warming for the first day of spring to 90 degrees. Colby, as we look ahead in the extended forecast, no big cold shot showing up. We may have a few dips in the road, but overall it is a very warm and a very dry pattern.
All right, Megan, thank you. The Sooner men's basketball team one step closer to the big dance after last night's matchup against Texas A&M. After losing to the Aggies 2 times this season, the Sooners advanced to the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament tonight. News 9's Toby Rowland has the recap from Nashville.
Well, in the most improbable of ways, Oklahoma has made Selection Sunday very interesting. A dominant second-round win over Texas A&M here in Nashville on Thursday night, 83-63. They were great in every way. Nigel Pack, 20 points, 4 three-pointers. Oklahoma gobbled up 19 offensive rebounds. That's more than they had in any SEC game so far this season. They outscored the Aggies in second chance points 18-1, and they win their 6th consecutive game. 8th in the last 10. It's the 4th consecutive win over a team they lost to in the regular season. They lost to the Aggies twice. Big picture, what does this mean for Oklahoma? Is that enough to get them into the NCAA tournament? Maybe. A lot depends on what else happens around the rest of the country. Certainly a win over a highly thought of and the 3 seed here in Nashville, Arkansas Razorbacks on Friday night, would go a long ways towards sealing the deal. What a magical late season run it has been for Oklahoma. We'll see if it can continue on Friday. Tip-off at 8:30 here in the Music City. Reporting from Nashville, I'm Toby Rowland, Oklahoma's own.
I always tell my 6-year-olds offensive rebounds are so important. And they just look at me and say, can we scrimmage now?
You coach, right? You coach your boys?
Yes, we do. And it's always a lot of fun. But
that's their future right there. That's what we're shooting for.
Second chance points, big deal. It's a good time to get hot. We're looking forward to seeing how it goes.
No kidding. It's been a rough season, but I guess it doesn't matter if it turns out well at the end.
Win the tournament.
Yeah.
Then don't ask any questions. Leave nothing on the court. Hey, coming up, a rare super bloom is transforming in one of the hottest places on Earth. Look at that. Why time is running out to see it? We're going to show you coming up. Welcome back. The families of 2 Elgin students hospitalized after last week's school bus crash have some help from fellow Oklahomans. We first told you about a local shirt company that's hoping to raise money for the students' recovery. We've learned that fundraiser brought in close to $8,000. So much help from the community. Both families were given checks in order to support their medical costs. Spring came early in Death Valley, California, where millions of flowers are taking bloom. The national park, typically known for its heat and dry conditions, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? It's now turning over a new leaf because of a super bloom. One park ranger says it comes as the valley received a lot of rain in the fall. The super bloom is quickly wilting, though, as temperatures rise in the park. Next week, already expected to hit triple digits.
Dang.
Yikes.
They have been slammed with so much rain in California.
I mean, it's good, and you get to go see the blooms. I think a lot of tourists usually go to see the dry
It's
heat.
kind of weird to see there.
Yeah.
In all the dry,
I prefer Death Valley, South Carolina, but that's just me. I will say, though, hot and dry sounds very familiar to us here in Oklahoma as the drought rages on. We desperately need rain. I don't know, you were talking about maybe the chances for some showers Sunday, but it's a big if.
A 10% chance.
Okay,
Yeah, this is
very
not
low.
I was asked earlier this morning by one of our producers about getting a car wash, and I was like, I think you're good for the next 10 days. So we're looking at rain chances later in the month, but it has been quite a March so far, and it is really nice to have a nice break from severe weather. No severe weather chances on the 9-day, nothing this weekend. So get outdoors, enjoy your Saturday, because a big time cold front is coming through, and your Sunday, just kind of a nasty day to be outside. 40s and 50s, a north wind, 30 to 50 miles per hour. And guess what? No 20s and 30s this morning. We're in the 40s and 50s, so we'll celebrate that. It's Friday. It's almost the weekend. It is 52 in Guyman, 46 here in Oklahoma City, 45 out in Clinton, and 49 in Ardmore. This afternoon's a beauty. We'll have a few clouds around, but sunshine, temperatures above normal by a good 10 to 15 degrees, low to mid to upper 70s, a few spots in the southwest at 80 degrees. Tomorrow, a south wind kicks in 15 to 25 miles per hour. That is a warming wind. We'll have a few clouds around, very, very warm, near record highs. Will fall short by about 4 degrees, and then the bottom falls out on Sunday. Kind of just, again, an indoor day. So winds are going to be very, very strong through the day. The cold front comes blasting through, and winds will gust 40 to even 50 miles per hour. That'll bring in some fire danger. And then guess what? As we go into next week, temperatures quickly warm back up. On Tuesday, 70 degrees. And for the first day of spring, how does 90 sound?
Hot.
A little too early for me.
It's a little warm. Hey, you know what, Megan, on this Friday, let's take a chance to celebrate the folks that make the magic happen. Our control room.
Best people in the business.
They're good at herding cats, I'll tell you that. Robin and Lacey will join us for Back right after this.
Shay, yeah, breaking a record for 63 years. This is pretty special. Yeah, very, very impressive achievement.
Oh yeah, fans from around the world witness an historic night for SGA, breaking a 63-year-old shooting record at the home game against the Celtics. I'm Robin Marsh. Was SGA's big night enough to help the Thunder beat the Boston Celtics? You'll find out coming up.
Senator Markwayne Mullin one step closer to a position in the Trump administration cabinet. I'm Colby Thielen. When the senator will face his own confirmation hearing in the Senate for Homeland Security Secretary.
And if spring break plans have you flying out today, be ready to wait. I'm Lacey Lowry. We're live at Will Rogers International this morning, showing you why security lines could be especially long.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
SGA did it. We can't stop talking about it. What a night. And it's Friday. We call it Friday around here. I mean, it's a win-win all the way around. Absolutely.
Not only did he break the record, he shattered it. 35 points last night for SGA in a big win. So congratulations.
He didn't want any asterisk by that. Yeah, exactly. Are you guys ready for the weekend?
Oh, yeah, especially today. It looks so beautiful.
It really
outside.
does, yeah.
Let's turn to Megan. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Megan, a gorgeous Friday.
Today will be beautiful, almost the weekend. Happy Friday to all of you. It'll truly be a weekend divided, though. Your Saturday, very warm, near record highs, and then a strong cold front arrives, and your Sunday is very chilly. Highs in the 40s and the 50s with a strong north wind, gusts to 45 and 50. It will feel frigid at times. A weak front moving through this morning gives us a northeast breeze today. Overall, still warmer than yesterday, where temperatures were in the mid 60s. Here's the live look on our Lucky Star Skycam network. Clear skies getting us going here at 4:32 on your Friday, and no 20s and 30s out the door. We are in the 40s and the 50s thanks to a south breeze. Guthrie 53 right now, 47 in Enid, 49 in Tecumseh, 50 in Shawnee, and 45 in Pauls Valley. So a mix of 40s and 50s, a few isolated 30s, and there's your south breeze, 10 to 20 miles per hour, a few gusts to 25 and 30. And as we go through the day today, that northeast breeze sticks around with the sunshine, and we're in the mid 70s this afternoon. We'll talk more about the cold front, high fire danger, a very slight chance for a shower or two for your Sunday, and the temperatures feeling like summertime next week, guys. 9-day coming up.
Pretty special. Yeah, very, very impressive achievement.
It was amazing to see. I'm so excited for him. He's such a valuable asset to the city.
Oh, it happened right in front of the home crowd and fans reacting to SGA's big night at the Paycom Center. The Thunder MVP shattered the record that was for 63 years, and it was against the Celtics last night. The record of scoring more than 20 points in consecutive games was previously held by Wilt Chamberlain in 1963. It was 126 games. SGA scored 35 points last night, helping the Thunder win by 2, 104-102. Ooh. Way to go, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. The crowd was waiting, holding on every shot. Is it this one? Is it this one? And it was that one. There you go. Oh, so neat.
We'll be talking more about it throughout the morning. Some other headlines to get to right now. A 9-year-old victim rushed to the hospital after a hit and run. This happened near Northwest Expressway in Wilshire just before 9 last night. At last check, police were still looking for that driver. The condition at this point has not been released. We'll pass along updates as they come in.
State and county law enforcement agents shut down a large illegal marijuana grow operation in Grady County. The Attorney General's office joining in on that raid, calling it part of a major Chinese organized crime network. News 9's Deanne Stein has the latest.
The Grady County Sheriff's Office has had this property on its radar for about 2 months, and during a raid this morning uncovered an elaborate illegal marijuana grow operation. A sophisticated alarm system and barbed wire fencing guard the entrance of this rural Grady County property.
Citizens have notified us of what they believe are numerous illegal marijuana grows around Grady County.
Acting on that tip, Grady County Undersheriff Corey Brewer says deputies broke through the gate, served a search warrant, and discovered 29 buildings and hoop houses packed with illegal marijuana plants.
It's a big problem. As you know, medical marijuana is a legal thing, but that has brought a whole black market of illegal marijuana as well.
More than 50 local and state officers and SWAT teams raided the property, seizing just over 46,000 plants and detaining anyone on site.
And it ran like a choreographed ballet.
Attorney General Getner Drummond says he joined the raid on what he calls a Chinese crime syndicate operation, and that the FBI previously warned him Chinese nationals were illegally buying 100,000 acres of Oklahoma land.
We've gone out and destroyed, shut down, driven off over 10,000 illegal grow facilities in the state.
As county dump trucks haul off 639 pounds of finished product, Brewer says he hopes that sends a message.
I hope people understand that if you have an illegal marijuana grow in Grady County, that it's going to catch up with you. And as you can see from the fence, we're going to knock your fence in, and we're going to do what we have to do to enforce the law.
Now 19 people, all with legal status, have been detained. Arrests are pending. In Grady County, Deanne Stein, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.
Investigators say all the marijuana plants were seized and destroyed at a different location. This is the 8th illegal grow operation busted in Grady County in the last 3 years.
4:36 on our Friday morning. Let's take a live look at our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. News 9 was the first to tell you that Governor Kevin Stitt was in D.C. Yesterday, the governor confirming he met with President Donald Trump at the White House discussing the upcoming appointment he has to make for Senator Markwayne Mullin's U.S. Senate seat. The governor mulling over who would be the best fit. Meanwhile, the Senate Homeland Security Committee has announced it is going to do the confirmation hearing next Wednesday for Markwayne Mullin, as he is trying to become the next secretary for the Department of Homeland Security.
Our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron is following the latest developments.
Well, Markwayne Mullin's impending move to President Trump's cabinet and the resulting vacancy of his Senate seat are combining to whip up political winds which seem only fitting for tornado-prone Oklahoma and which are causing the dominoes to start falling. President Trump fires Kristi Noem and nominates Markwayne Mullin to replace her.
Super excited about it. Humbling.
Mullin accepts, creating an open seat in the Senate.
I'm the person that's the most prepared to run for this seat.
Congressman Kevin Hern enters the race to take Mullin's seat. And now others are filing to run for his, and so on.
How you doing, sir?
But first things first, Mullin has to be confirmed. His confirmation hearing is set for next Wednesday.
How close are you to making your decision, Governor?
Then Governor Stitt has to appoint someone to serve in Mullin's place until the election in November, which is what brought Stitt to Washington Thursday to meet with Senate leadership and then with President Trump.
I want to thank him for all the economic development that he's helped us with here in our state, and then we'll talk about the appointment and what we need in the Senate.
In a statement after the meeting, Stitt said, "I appreciate President Trump taking the time to meet to discuss the importance of appointing a new U.S. Senator for Oklahoma. President Trump's made a great selection in Markwayne Mullin to join his cabinet, and I am committed to making a swift decision on his replacement once Mullin's confirmed by the Senate." There's been speculation the term-limited governor might be setting his own sights on Mullin's seat.
Are you interested in running yourself, sir?
I'm just interested right now in picking the very, very best person for this position and representing Oklahoma as well. And we're going to find a great one.
I'll continue to follow it. In our Washington Bureau, I'm Oklahoma's own Alex Cameron.
And back here at home, Attorney General Getner Drummond says his office will likely sue a second insurance company, accusing it of underpaying damage claims. This stems from Drummond's effort to intervene in a lawsuit where an Oklahoma family claims State Farm underpaid wind and hail claims by redefining what counts as damage. Attorney General Getner Drummond sat down with News 9's political analyst Scott Mitchell and says that his investigation has revealed a much bigger problem.
I can assure the listeners in this broadcast segment that every insurance company in the state of Oklahoma is being reviewed by my office. We have reason to believe there's one, I don't want to disclose them yet, will more likely than not be sued by my office in the next 4 weeks.
So the AG and State Farm scheduled to argue in front of the state Supreme Court April 27th.
All right, it's going to be interesting to see because just even this week, so many people are filing insurance
I was about to
claims.
say, insurance in Oklahoma is a big deal because we have so many weather events. So a lot of people wondering who is that next company the AG is going to sue.
So we know State Farm and Farmers, I believe, is another one. And so we'll be watching, you know, here we go. We have the highest insurance in the nation, and it's not setting well with folks.
No, compared to the region, which gets a lot of this similar weather. So a lot of folks are saying, hey, why us?
Yeah.
What is going on here? We'll be following following what happens here in the coming weeks.
Let's get over to Megan. She's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. A beautiful day shaping up today, Megan.
Will be beautiful. Winds will be light to breezy. Sunshine, above normal temperatures in the 70s. And we are warmer this morning than we were yesterday. We had 20s and 30s yesterday. How about 40s and 50s out the door with sunshine and a northeast breeze? We warm in the mid 70s this afternoon. Strong cold front on the way. Very strong winds and high fire danger for your weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up.
Also coming up, another record for SGA, passing Wilt Chamberlain for consecutive 20-point games, a 63-year-old record taken down. The Thunder edge the Celtics. We'll have a recap from last night's game coming up.
All right, if you are heading out to the airport this morning to start spring break, well, you might pack a little patience. There is a little line there this morning.
It's already busy. The airport's expecting to see record high 171 million flyers for spring break all across the nation. And here at Will Rogers International Airport, our Kylie Dedman's there. She's checking in on us this morning, and it looks pretty busy out there, Kylie.
Colby, it's not even 5 in the morning yet, and it's already pretty busy here at Will Rogers International Airport. You can even see behind me for the checked bags here for American Airlines, and it is just wrapped around the corner a little bit too, kind of going past the area. So there's long lines here already this morning. There's also lines for Southwest checking their bags and also for Delta. Now, if you're going to be flying to bigger airports like Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, New York, they're seeing hours-long waits. Thankfully, you're not seeing hour-long long waits here, but of course expect to see the waits at Will Rogers International Airport. Now, these long lines are a mix of more passengers at the airport for spring break travel and workers calling out due to the ongoing partial government shutdown. Now, TSA agents are advising travelers to get to the airport at least 3 hours early compared to the normal 2 hours early. And if you're going to be flying back home out of Texas, or maybe you have family members flying out of Texas somewhere, Texas TSA travel agents are telling people to get to the airport 4 hours early due to these ongoing long lines. So if you're going to be traveling, whether it's at Will Rogers International Airport or other big city airports, definitely pack your patience. I know we say that all the time, but definitely pack your patience and be prepared to spend a little quality time in the TSA lines. We'll be keeping you updated on the lines here, but if you're going to be flying out of Will Rogers International Airport this morning or later today, or maybe you're picking up a loved one, I just checked the board and all flights arriving and departing Will Rogers International Airport are still on time today. So that's the good news there. So we'll keep you updated, so stay with News 9. Reporting live here at Will Rogers International Airport, Kylie Dudman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
Kylie, that line seems really long. Are they out the door behind you, or how deep is it there?
It does go a little bit past, so we can kind of maybe zoom past where that escalator is, but I haven't seen it go out the door, but it is, the parking lots are actually very full today, so we'll be keeping an eye on it, but yeah, it's close to the door, Robin, I'll say that.
Vacation mode. Yeah, where's everyone headed? Have you asked them? Where's everyone going?
Let me see. Where are y'all heading to?
Where are we heading to?
Yeah.
We're heading to the Virgin Islands.
Oh, yeah!
All right, I'll see you all later.
She gone. There you go.
I love seeing all these folks on vacation.
Good job, Kylie. There you go. All right. Thanks so much.
I'm happy for that.
I know.
Wow.
We all gave her a standing ovation right there.
I'm also happy for us. I mean, today here looks amazing.
It does, yeah. And our spring break, a lot of people stay home and get quality time and rest up after a really busy kind of school year so far, at least on the back half. And things look great. Sunday and Monday will be chilly, but then we're going to feel like summertime next week.
Wow.
So it'll feel like the U.S. Virgin Islands.
There we
How about
go.
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
We can just get that tan,
Right?
Some of us need it more than others.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh. That was a personal problem, right?
My gosh.
Hey, so we are watching for our next chance for rain. It's a very dry forecast. If you are staying here at home, things look beautiful. Strong cold front arrives this weekend. But guys, it's been such an active March so far, and it's really nice to have quiet weather, no severe chances on the 9-day, and we're really eyeing our next opportunity for rain and storms. Of course, we need the moisture, and anytime our winds are strong, it brings in high fire danger. We're continuing to keep an eye on these tornado surveys. So as you know, back in January, we tied the record for the all-time amount of January tornadoes. That was 5. February, we did not have any, thank goodness. And we've had 16 preliminary tornadoes so far for the month of March, and that does not include the tornadoes that we had just a couple of days ago. So we're watching to see if that number will more than likely bump up by at least 1 or 2. I think it does, but showing you the counties where we've had the tornadoes so far this year, from Roger Mills all the way up to Alfalfa and Grant. Notice the southwest and southern Oklahoma, no tornadoes there. Doesn't mean you haven't had strong storms, especially down in Love County. Thinking about everyone in Marietta from earlier this week. A few on the southern sides of the metro, and then up into northeastern Oklahoma, Osage County, Tulsa County, and Wagner County included. Most of them have been weak, but we did have an EF3 tornado in Beggs just last week. Here's the big picture across the country. Look at this area of low pressure. We've got snow and winter storm watches, high wind warnings, and this weak little boundary coming through. That is going to give us a wind shift for today. So we'll switch from a southerly wind to a northeast breeze this afternoon, and it will still be warmer than this time yesterday. When you look well up to the northwest, that is what will become Sunday's brief cold shot and bring in very, very strong winds. So 2 more very warm days as we warm it on up. There's your cool shot. Winds out of the north 30 to 50 miles per hour, maybe a few gusts to 55. Fire danger will be high, thankfully, with some cloud cover and humidity that isn't scary low. It's not extreme, but it will be high. I'll show you that here in a minute. And we're watching for our next chance for rain. But as we go into next week, it's all about this ridge of high pressure that dominates our weather pattern. It keeps us very, very dry. And then as I just showed you, about 2 weeks from now, we are eyeing our next rainmaker. Here's a live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network, our Mathis home cam here on your Friday morning. 46 is our temperature right now. Yesterday morning, our low was 26. So we've made a lot of improvement. That south wind helping warm us up. 40s, 50s, a few isolated upper 30s, and south winds right now at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, a gust or two to around 30 in Fairview. And again, we'll switch to a northeast breeze. This afternoon, low to mid to upper 70s and a few spots in the southwest to 80 degrees. The sunshine plentiful overnight tonight. Winds are light, skies are clear, temperatures pretty mild, and tomorrow near record highs. A south wind 15 to 25, and we'll have a little cloud cover, but even then a beautiful day. Sunday is the day that the big cool shot arrives, and temperatures in the mid 40s to the north 50 in Oklahoma City. So the morning will actually be much warmer when the cold front hits, temperatures falling by the afternoon to 50 and warmer down to the south. Again, those north winds 30 to 50 miles per hour and high fire danger. So very, very windy on Sunday. If you're picking a day to spend outdoors over the weekend, I would pick Saturday. I would not pick Sunday. Here are those winds through the afternoon to the evening. They'll start to let up some, but Monday morning we will still have gusty winds making wind chills pretty frigid, and a very, very, very slight chance for an isolated shower or a few sprinkles. Otherwise, guys, it is a totally dry 9-day, and 1 week from today, the first day of spring, a high of 90 degrees. Back over to you.
A record-setting night for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He breaks Wilt Chamberlain's scoring record.
And the Thunder beat the Boston Celtics. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGehee shows us it all.
SGA almost broke the record in the first half last night against Boston. He had 17 points in the first half. His first 2 points in the third quarter were from the free throw line. Then he hits about a 20-footer to break the record. And believe him or not, he didn't realize that shot was the one that passed up Wilt Chamberlain.
I knew, like, I was around there, but I didn't know exactly how many. Like, I could tell, like, I was going to get there eventually tonight. But yeah, I didn't know exactly how many, but once I heard the crowd, I was like, oh, okay, that must have been it.
I was oblivious too. I don't know how he didn't know, because obviously he knew coming into the game, and then the crowd was cheering like it was tie game, end of the game, in the middle of, what was it, third quarter? Yeah. Third quarter? And I was oblivious. I was like, why did it just get so loud out of nowhere? And then I started seeing like Wilt Chamberlain stuff on the Jumbotron during the timeout.
Near the end of the game, Shai had a chance to hit the game-winning shot, but he deferred to Alex Caruso. Caruso missed the shot from the corner. Chet Holmgren gets the rebound. He's fouled. He knocks down 2 free throws. Thunder win by 2. Oklahoma City back to work Sunday at noon against the Minnesota Timberwolves. After that, they're on the road for 5 straight. From Paycom Center, Steve McGehee, Oklahoma's own.
All right, look what's going on out at Will Rogers World Airport right now. Yep, a lot of folks getting ready for spring break. It is starting today. Pack some patience. We're told get there 3 hours before your flight to make it through the lines at TSA. We have a live report coming up next.
Right now at 5 a.m., Oklahoma City police are looking for a driver who took off after hitting and badly injuring a 9-year-old child. I'm Lacey Lowry. Coming up, we'll take you to the scene.
Governor Kevin Stitt says he's focused right now on filling the upcoming vacant Senate seat. Markwayne Mullin getting ready to be DHS Secretary. I'm Robin Marsh. We flat out asked the governor, are you interested in becoming a senator from Oklahoma? His answer ahead.
SGA tries to shoot it. As the Thunder go back up by 2.
What a moment, what a big night for the league's MVP SGA, breaking Wilt Chamberlain's 63-year-old record for the longest streak of games scoring 20 points or more. I'm Colby Thielen. His reaction, fans' reaction, all to that record being broken. It's coming up on News 9 this morning.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
You're not surprised. But you'll love to see it when it happens, right?
It was so awesome.
I love that SGA didn't realize that it was that bucket
Particular shot
that bumped him over.
Yeah.
And you know who told him? The crowd. They went wild.
It was so awesome.
Such a moment on the home court. Hey, by the way, we want to remind you we are live right now on the News 9 YouTube channel. You can scan the QR code right here on your screen. Subscribe, leave your questions, your comments in that live chat. We'll get to them throughout the show.
Did you watch the game? Let us know on the chat what you thought about it. But a big win against the Celtics.
Oh, man, just breaking records left and right, Lace. Just so awesome, especially a great way to start our Friday here.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
One of the things I'm wondering now that he's broke the record, what will his standing record be?
Yeah.
Where does this
it
streak
just will continue
end?
to go on.
Great
Exactly.
question.
Yeah.
That's going to be incredible. And who will be the next person behind him coming up? I mean, it's amazing what's going on with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they won. It was a close game, but hey, a win is a win. Can't wait to see what happens next. Right now, we're starting in the 40s. We have much warmer temperatures than what we were dealing with yesterday. The 20s are tucked way up into the Dakotas, northern portions of Nebraska. A weak front is slipping in this morning, and with it, winds are a little bit gusty, but really afternoon temperatures are going to be warmer than what we dealt with yesterday. It felt nice yesterday in the sunshine. The wind was still a little cool, and this morning you're heading out to 45 degrees. So on your Friday, the Friday before spring break, grab the jacket. You won't need it later today. That north wind will eventually make its way down into the central portion of the state. Temperatures are in the 40s, some are in the 50s as you head out. Sunrise today is going to be at 7:44, sunset at 7:36. We'll see full sunshine and a high today of 76 degrees. Warm, above normal, and 70s. It looks beautiful to get outside, but this weekend, big time whiplash. We're talking near record highs, and then boom, a big cold front, extreme wind, and high fire danger. And it's still too early to plant. Don't get too excited with these warmer temperatures because a hard freeze is coming. You're 9 minutes away.
Oklahoma City police are looking for a driver this morning who hit and injured a child and then drove away last night. Officers say the 9-year-old was rushed to the hospital after they were hit by a black car near Wilshire and Lyrewood Lane. This was around 9 o'clock last night. Police have not yet released how the child is doing. They're still trying to get information on that vehicle that sped away. We'll be watching it.
And authorities say a man driving under the influence is charged with first-degree manslaughter. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says the driver's blood alcohol level was over 3 times the legal limit during a crash that killed an 18-year-old Coweta student. Troopers say Isabella Clay was driving on Highway 72 in Muskogee County early Sunday morning when the driver, Levi Crawford, crossed the center line and hit her. The girl died at the scene. Troopers say that Crawford showed signs of impairment. He was taken to the hospital and released. Here's his picture. He is now in the Tulsa County Jail. He will be going to court next Monday. His bond has been withheld.
The Oklahoma City Fire's dive team rescues a man after his truck crashes into Lake Overholser. I want to show you the scene just after 11 yesterday morning. This was near Northwest 16th and East Overholser Drive. Firefighters say they rescued that man from the truck after a nearby kayaker spotted it in the water and called police. They say the man hit a tree before eventually rolling that truck into the lake. Right now, his condition has not been released.
A Durant woman is now suing 2 businesses that she says contributed to the deadly car crash that killed her husband and daughter. We followed this story extensively. The Robinson family's SUV went off the road into a flooded ditch just over the Texas state line on Christmas Eve of 2024. Will Robinson died at the scene. 8-year-old Clara was swept away by floodwaters, and she has never been found. Well, Clara's mother, Kristen Robinson, claims in a new lawsuit that police said lack of tread on the car's tires was a cause of the crash. She alleges that 2 auto businesses failed to identify safety issues with her car during inspections just a few months before the deadly crash. Her lawsuit is seeking damages this morning.
Well, a call for an investigation continues to escalate the controversy about these pay raises for the Oklahoma County jail detention workers. Earlier this week, members of the jail trust got into an argument about who authorized the raises totaling close to $250,000. The paperwork says that it was the chair of the trust, Jim Holman, who approved those raises. The group, though, voted back in January to pause the raises. And that means now trustee Derek Scobie is calling for an investigation and the resignation of the chairman, Jim Holman, citing the new evidence on the timeline of the raises from the county clerk.
That's what I've been waiting on, and I have it now. It's date stamped to show that these raises, went into effect after the board voted to pause them.
Now, the trust chairman, Jim Holman, who the paperwork shows approved the raises, called all this effort political theater. He says he welcomes an investigation. Holman believes not enough attention is being paid to the issue of underfunding at the county jail.
5:06 your time right now, taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this morning after Governor Kevin Stitt meets with Senate leadership and President Donald Trump about appointing someone to fill Senator Markwayne Mullins' seat. Our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron asked him about the talk that he may enter that race himself.
Are you interested in running yourself, sir?
I'm just interested right now in picking the very, very best person for this position and representing Oklahoma as well. And we're going to find a great one.
Not right now, the answer. We'll be following. We know that Senator Mullins' confirmation hearing will be next Wednesday, as the Secretary of Homeland Security will be watching. And if confirmed, he'd step down from the Senate. Governor Stitt would have 30 days to appoint someone to fill Senator Mullins' seat. Governor Stitt's appointee would serve until the November election.
Oh, what a night. A record-setting night for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Watch this. That was the shot that broke Wilt Chamberlain's record of 126 straight games with at least 20 points. Chamberlain set the 126 record back in 1963. It now stands at 127 and counting for SGA. SGA started his way towards this record in November of 2024, so not even quite a year and a half to it. And on top of all of it, the Thunder beat the Celtics last night.
By 2. It was a close one. Final score 104-102. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGeehee has all the highlights from Paycom.
SGA almost broke the record in the first half last night against Boston. He had 17 points in the first half. His first 2 points in the third quarter were from the free throw line. Then he hits about a 20-footer to break the record. And believe him or not, he didn't realize that shot was the one that passed up Wilt Chamberlain.
I knew I was around there, but I didn't know exactly how many. I could tell I was gonna get there eventually tonight. But yeah, I didn't know exactly how many. But once I heard the crowd, I was like, oh, okay, that must have been it.
I was oblivious too. I don't know how he didn't know, because obviously he knew coming into the game, and then the crowd was cheering like it was tie game, end of the game, in the middle of, what was it, third quarter? Yeah. Third quarter? And I was oblivious. I was like, why did it just get so loud out of nowhere? And then I started seeing Wilt Chamberlain stuff on the Jumbotron during the timeout.
Near the end of the game, Shai had a chance to hit the game-winning shot, but he deferred to Alex Caruso. Caruso missed the shot from the corner. Chet Holmgren gets the rebound. He's fouled. He knocks down 2 free throws. Thunder win by 2. Oklahoma City back to work Sunday at noon against the Minnesota Timberwolves. After that, they're on the road for 5 straight. From Paycom Center, Steve McGeehee, Oklahoma Zone.
I thought it was so cool. After that shot, there was a timeout, and then SGA sat on the bench by himself. Everyone in the place standing, cheering.
That's
it was
so
on the big
awesome.
screen. It was awesome.
And how cool that he was so laser focused on what he's doing. It's like, oh, that was the
was the
shot.
shot.
Okay, cool.
I knew
I
I
knew it
was
was coming,
close.
but I didn't know where we were.
I'd be tracking every point. I'm down 1. I've got to get that one right.
Realistically, it's just a run-of-the-mill.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just what he does.
Yeah, he's like, I'd get there eventually. I knew it. Hey, we'll get there eventually with Lacey Swope. In fact, right now, she's in the Bob Mills Weather Center. Man, Oklahoma City just peaking at the right time, Lace.
Once again, is it going to be a repeat?
Here we
We're all
go.
thinking we're going that direction, right? Hey, temperatures are going to be going up as we head to the next couple of days and into the weekend, especially. Today, 70s, tomorrow, 80s. But don't get used to that, because there's a big dip in the road, and that cold front slams in on Sunday. Extreme wind, fire danger. It is going to be cold. Hard freeze by Monday morning, and then record highs into next week. It's coming up in full weather.
And still ahead, a big story we're following: the search for a missing KC-135 plane that crashed in Iraq. And the FBI investigating an attack on a Detroit synagogue. Your top national and international stories after the break.
Well, if you're excited about spring break and flying out, guess what? You better get to the airport early. 3 hours early is what they are advising. The lines are already long for those early flights this morning. We've been talking with travelers. We'll have a live report from Will Rogers International Airport in just a moment.
I hope they're all headed to the beach.
Right? Yes. Take us with you.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. You only need a duffel bag to carry them.
I will
right?
say there's always an early rush at Oklahoma City's airport because you're making connecting flights. And then there's kind of a lull around like 7 or 8 o'clock. So this is the big rush right now.
Yeah, if you're sitting here watching us at home, you better get out the door if you have a flight coming up soon. But yeah, it looks beautiful here. Really beach-like temperatures headed our way, Lacey.
Oh my gosh, yeah, for spring break, it's gonna feel like the Bahamas. That's how it's gonna feel.
Wonderful.
Beautiful beaches of the Oklahoma Lakes. Arcadia is gonna be popping.
Get ready.
Just a little red out there, but that's okay.
Wear those darker swimsuits that you gotta do in the Oklahoma Lakes.
That's so true.
White will not do.
There you go.
But overall, it's gonna be very warm for spring breakers here. And yeah, if you're heading out early this morning, nothing to slow you down getting to the airport. The weather is calm and quiet. It's gonna be gorgeous later today. No severe weather in the forecast, but we're still going through the surveys that are being done with our recent severe weather outbreak. So looking back over the last few months, taking you back to January, remember on January 8th, we had 5 tornadoes. We tied the record for the most tornadoes in January. No tornadoes in February. It was a wild month. We had fires and all that. And then in March, 16 tornadoes is still the preliminary number, and the record is 17. So where have we had the severe weather so far? Well, here's the tornado count per county. Notice it's been central, those northwestern storms that came through and produced the tornadoes, also off towards the northeast. Our count is at 21. We average 59 tornadoes. And typically as we get into April and May, that's when the count really starts to ramp on up. But we're going into a dry spell for about 2 weeks, Oklahoma, which means drought and fire danger. Going to be a big talker. Also watching out for some record heat building on in. This morning, a weak cold front's moving in. This is a major winter storm again for the northern states, the Great Lakes states. Our next wind maker is right there. That's going to start making its way our direction, and we will have high wind warnings in effect come Sunday. Right now, though, it's pretty calm. It's pretty quiet. 45 degrees is the temperature as you're heading out. It's jacket weather for sure. You saw those folks there at the airport. They were a little bundled up. That wind is a little chilly. The cold front is moving in from the north, and it is very weak. It's basically a wind shift. Ahead of it, 40s, 50s. We've got a couple areas that have fallen into the upper 30s, and we'll be in the 50s in Oklahoma City by 10 a.m. By 1:68, and we'll see sunshine. Those winds that are a little gusty through midday really relax into the afternoon. We'll have an east breeze and 76 degrees. It's going to feel amazing. 72 in Enid, 73 in Stillwater, 75 in Ada, 80 in Altus. The record is 90, so we're above average by 10 to 15 degrees, but we're not anywhere near records. March can get really hot. We are close to records next week, though. I'll show you that in the next half hour. Here's a look at the upper level low that's heading our direction. So it's coming off of the peninsula of Alaska there. It's going to come into the Gulf of Alaska. And by Saturday, it's going to be coming through the Rockies. By Sunday, that thing deepens and strengthens. And with that, our winds crank up. So just kind of show you the wind timeline starting early on Sunday. Here comes the winds out of the north, 30, 35. We can handle that. But we start getting gusts 40, 45, close to 50. We may have isolated gusts out west, close to 60 miles per hour. That could cause some isolated power outages. That's going to blow things around like crazy. Secure your lawn furniture. If you're trying to get out all your cool spring decorations and make everything looking cutesy around your house, that Oklahoma wind's going to do, what Oklahoma wind does in the springtime. It could be whipping things around and pushing those decorations down into Texas. They do relax, though, into Monday. So let's break this down statewide for your big weekend. Tomorrow morning, if you're going to be outdoors, we're in the 30s, the 40s. It'll be a little chilly. Pretty typical for March. By tomorrow afternoon, 80s on the way, mid, even upper 80s. It will be hot tomorrow, little on the gusty side as well. Now, Sunday, north winds move in, so the winds are on average 25, 45, but gusts 50, 55, isolated gusts to 60 into the afternoon. With that, the humidity is not extremely low. In fact, for a while, morning, midday, we might get a couple sprinkles to ring out of this with slightly higher chance off into eastern Oklahoma. And with that, the humidity not being too low, the fire threat is not just off the charts. If our humidity were lower, it would be with this type of a setup. But the humidity, I think, will be a little bit of a saving grace, not a day to burn. High fire danger is going to be the rule for central, especially southwestern Oklahoma, and temperatures fall into the 40s, the 50s by the afternoon. Wind chills will be in the teens by Monday morning. So Monday, spring break starts off very cold, but watch where we end in the 90s by the end of next week.
week. Back to you guys.
Lacey, thank you. 5:18 your time right now. Time to take a look at some of your top national stories this morning. 4 crew members, CBS News is reporting, were killed. 2 others still missing after a U.S. military refueling plane crashes in Iraq. Military officials say that plane was part of an operation happening in Iran when it went down yesterday afternoon. Now the U.S. Central Command says 4 crew members were killed in that crash. They also say the crash was not caused by hostile or friendly fire. A second aircraft was damaged but was able to land safely.
The FBI is investigating after an armed suspect rams a truck into a Detroit synagogue. 2 federal law enforcement sources tell CBS News investigators have tentatively identified the deceased attacker as a U.S. citizen born in Lebanon. Authorities say no staff or students at the Michigan synagogue's preschool and kindergarten were injured. No one injured there. An FBI official says the agency is leading the investigation as a targeted act of violence against the Jewish community.
And Jewish communities across the country are remaining on alert, including in Oklahoma City. We talked with Rabbi Abby Jacobson. She says she's angry, sad, and scared, but not surprised by this latest attack. She says the Emmanuel Synagogue in Oklahoma City has seen an increase in hateful messages, but she says instead of getting stuck in your feelings, take action and never give in to despair.
We can't be too bitter. We can't be too scared. We can't be too sad, and we can't be too angry. We should be all of those things. But we together will also find reasons to be happy. And we together will live our best lives. And that will be the best answer to anti-Semitism.
The rabbi goes on to say the synagogue has also received an outpouring of support from the community, with many people reaching out to remind the synagogue and members that anti-Semitism has no home here. All right, another big story we're following. OU men's basketball. They do it last night, and they advance in the SEC tournament, beating Texas A&M. There's a big game tonight against Arkansas. What are their chances? We're talking about it next. We're talking men's basketball, and the Sooners do it. They win last night, beating A&M, moving on to the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. The final score, 83-63 for the Sooners. OU will take on Arkansas tonight at 8:30 our time. The winner tonight will play the winner of Ole Miss and Alabama tomorrow afternoon at 2:30.
Let's go OU. And it's almost time to make your March Madness bracket. With the end of the SEC tournament comes Selection Sunday for March Madness. The men's bracket will be announced 5 o'clock Sunday evening right here on News 9. The women's bracket will be announced 7 p.m. Sunday night on ESPN.
OU's kind of throwing a wrench in everything with this big run here at the end, right?
That's what Toby Rowland was saying. It's like, hey, it might make it interesting for the selection committee come Sunday. So we'll be certainly watching. Hey, what helps? Just winning.
There
just
you
win
go.
out, right?
Yeah, just win.
I love it. I love March Madness.
It's an exciting time. Most of the games are right here on News 9 as well.
I know. Here we go.
This March has been madder than most so far when the weather is concerned. Let's turn to the Bob Mills Weather Center. Lacey Swab's joining us. Hey, Lacey.
Hey, almost record as far as the number of tornadoes. We are very close. It's been wild with severe weather. Some areas of Oklahoma have had great rains. Other area, the drought continues to get worse and will do so over the next couple of weeks. Today, above average. You're heading out. We're in the 40s this morning. We'll be in the mid-upper 70s, a few 80s in the southwest. Hotter tomorrow before that big cold front slams in for your weekend. If you have outdoor plans, your weekend forecast is a wild one. We'll break it down in full weather.
And ahead, we're taking a live look at Will Rogers International Airport. Oh boy, long lines as folks are preparing for spring break travel. We'll have a live report from Kylie Dedman on what to expect when you get here coming up.
He's got the good neck pillow.
That's right. He's prepared.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
Good morning. It's 5:30 on a busy Friday morning. Top stories right now. Oklahoma City police are searching for a driver after a hit and run involving a young child. We're told a 9-year-old child was rushed to the hospital last night after they were hit by a driver of a black car near Wilshire and Lyrewood Lane. That's out kind of by Wiley Post Airport. This was just about 9 o'clock last night. Oklahoma City police have not yet released the child's name or the child's condition this morning.
A Metro family is asking for help finding their missing pregnant loved one. A very concerning story. Look at your screen. 26-year-old Jordan Claiborne is 41 weeks pregnant. Her family says she was scheduled to deliver her child yesterday morning and never showed up to her appointment. She was last seen wearing a blue and white jogging suit, driving a silver Nissan Altima. The family says her car was actually caught on cameras at Northwest 63rd and Lake Hefner Parkway. If you have seen this woman, the family is asking you to please call Midwest City Police.
And a record-setting night, a historic night for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record of 126 straight games with 20 or more points. Chamberlain set that record back in 1963. It stood a long time. SGA started making his way toward that record in November of 2024, and last night the Thunder ended up beating the Celtics 104-102.
That was the shot right
there.
That
is so awesome. Oh, what a night. All right. Well, I also want to remind you this morning we are streaming live on our News 9 YouTube channel. If you have any comments about the game, questions, tell us what you're doing this weekend with this great weather, just post them in our live chat. This QR code will take you there. Subscribe to the channel and hop into the comments. We'll read some of those later on.
All right, time to talk a little weather this morning. It is a Friday morning, and hope you are enjoying some nice temperatures.
It's looking like a great Friday. What a way to start the weekend, Lacey Swope.
It's the way to start the weekend. The way we're ending the weekend's going to be on a whole different note. But today is absolutely beautiful. Getting out this morning, a little cool this afternoon in the 70s. Tomorrow, awesome. 80 degrees, though. That is warm. It's March. That's closer to records than average. And then by Sunday, that 50 is going to be about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll be in the 40s by Sunday evening, the 20s by Monday morning. Monday's a chilly day. And then we soar the second half of the week close to record-breaking highs. That's where we're headed. It's a wild ride in Oklahoma. Right now, it's 45 degrees on our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. So as you're getting your Friday going, final day of the work week, and for many of the kiddos, the final day of school before spring break. 53 in Guthrie. It's 50 in Seminole. 48 in Rush Springs. 40s, 50s, some 30s going on back in Beckham County, back near Greer County, Harmon County. Also, Medford starting off 39, Enid down to 35 right now. We'll be in the 50s in Oklahoma City by 10 a.m. We climb to the upper 60s by 1, sunshine, and 76 by 4. And then it's that whiplash that'll get you for the weekend. We'll talk more about it in detail. Who sees a little rain, who sees big time wind, and it's still too early to plant. Pump the brakes. A hard freeze is coming. More on that in just a minute.
Scammers are out at it again. Earlier, we were telling you how scamming for drivers was going on. Now, the Oklahoma County Sheriff says fake IRS emails are making the rounds. Deputies say the message claims that you owe IRS back taxes and demands payment. This is all a scam. The sheriff's office says the IRS would never initiate contact with the taxpayer by email to request a payment. We are also told the IRS would never ask for immediate payment through specific methods like a gift card or a wire transfer or to meet up at a Walmart.
And a grand jury indicts 2 people on felony charges in a $55,000 scheme targeting Walmart using the Walmart app. Court records show Angel Jones and Christopher Lepke would scan inexpensive items but walk out of the store with similar, much higher priced items. Investigators say they hit stores in 15 states, including 19 locations here in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's Attorney General Gentner Drummond says that his office will likely sue a second insurance company, accusing it of underpaying damage claims. It stems from Drummond's efforts to intervene in a lawsuit where an Oklahoma family says the State Farm underpaid wind and hail claims by redefining what counts as damage. The Attorney General sat down with Oklahoma's own political analyst Scott Mitchell and says his investigation has revealed a much bigger problem.
I can assure the listeners in this broadcast segment that Every insurance company in the state of Oklahoma is being reviewed by my office. We have reason to believe there's one, I don't want to disclose them yet, will more likely than not be sued by my office in the next 4 weeks.
The AG and State Farm scheduled to argue in front of the state Supreme Court April 27th.
Well, tomorrow marks 1 year since the deadly and damaging wildfires sparked in central and northeast Oklahoma. And now the state's insurance commissioner is calling for stronger building codes to make homes more resistant to wildfires. The Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety studies home construction and what works to protect homes from wildfires. The recommendations are discouraging wooden fences by homes, overhanging trees, and encouraging more fire-resistant roofing and even siding.
Some of it is fairly simple, right? Like, combustible material more than 6 feet away from your home.
According to the insurance commissioner, another risk for many Oklahomans is whether their homes are insured. The latest numbers show about 1 in 5 homes in the state are not covered by insurance.
Meanwhile, the Oklahoma Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture is now collecting donations for farmers and ranchers who are also firefighters impacted by wildfires in northwest Oklahoma last month. The foundation and several other agencies are now offering a dollar-for-dollar match on donations. Without a lot of money generated from sales tax or revenue, the foundation says it's really hard for firefighters to bounce back from loss because most fire departments are volunteer.
When you are outfitting a firefighter, you're looking at $5,000 in gear per person. A new truck could be around $150,000, just the basic like brush truck, just to get water out there.
So far, the Farm Bureau Foundation has raised $19,000. It plans to match up to $30,000. If you'd like to help out, we have a link to donate at news9.com.
5:37, your time right now. Let's take a live look at Will Rogers International Airport on our Lucky Star Skycam network. If you're heading to the airport this morning to begin spring break travel, bring your waiting skills to the security lines. The airport's expecting to see record number of flyers for spring break. Kylie Dedman is there. You've been there all morning, Kylie, looking at those lines, and so far it's looking pretty long.
Colby, it is. This is the busiest that I've seen the airport, and this is also the busiest that some passengers have told me they've seen Will Rogers International Airport. Now, the lines aren't out the door, but man, are they close. Take a look at this behind me. This is to check your bag for American Airlines. Now, the reason for these long lines, and TSA is even telling people to get to the airport 3 hours early, is because of spring break, and then also with workers calling out due to the government shutdown that's going on right now. So I've already invited myself to the British Virgin Islands. I'm going on a 4-week cruise out of Miami, and then I'm also going to Hawaii. Let's see where else we're going to be going today. So where are you traveling to, sir?
California.
California? Okay. Where about California?
San Diego.
San Diego. Nice, nice. And then to come over here, family trip. Where are y'all going to be flying to?
I'm traveling to Michigan to visit my mom.
Awesome. And then where are y'all traveling to? Oh, perfect. Okay, all together. Awesome.
Yeah.
So are you excited?
Yeah.
How has the lines been so far right now?
We've been here for about 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kind of tired of it?
Yeah.
Are you scared of what TSA is going to look like?
No.
Okay, you're prepared. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all. Yeah, again, so they've been here waiting for 30 minutes. They still have to go and get their checked bag or go into TSA security lines. We've seen it. It's not that long, but of course, definitely need to pack your patience if you're going to be coming to Will Rogers International Airport. Like I said earlier, TSA agents are urging travelers to get to the airport at least 3 hours early. Now, I checked the boards earlier for flights and departures here at Will Rogers International Airport, and still everything is on time if you're going to be leaving today or if you're picking up a loved one for spring break or anything of those sorts. So we'll keep you updated on those times. So reporting here live at Will Rogers International Airport, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
3 hours early. Not only spring break, but this is the first week, keep in mind, that TSA agents missed their paychecks. They'll eventually get back pay, but not until the political deadlock in D.C. is resolved.
That live shot was crazy. That's just to check your bag.
That's not even through the TSA.
Correct. You haven't gotten to the TSA lines yet.
Okay.
Maybe you're thinking I should have just brought a carry-on.
Yeah,
that would be
that's the
Just
answer.
wear all your clothes on the plane.
Oh, man, I tell you, it's going to kind of feel like summertime out there, it sounds like, for at least half of the weekend. Lacey?
Yeah, it is.
Today's going to be warm. Tomorrow's going to be warm. And then, yeah, we're definitely going to see warming temperatures into next week. We're going to start spring break in the 20s, guys. But then we heat into the 90s. Yeah, big time whiplash for your weekend and also into next week. This morning, as you're getting your Friday going, we're in the 40s. Skies are clear. Winds are light. And we warm up to the 70s, the 80s later today. It's going to be gorgeous this afternoon. But if you're liking winter-like temperatures, you'll love parts of your 9-day. It's going to get really cold ahead. I'll have all that and more in full weather.
All right, thanks so much. And taking a live look from our Lucky Star Skycam network. Yep, there's Megan. She's working on that traffic report for you for your Friday morning. It's next on 9.
All right, you kind of shocked me when you said we're going from the 20s to the 90s within the same week.
With spring break.
My gosh.
I know, it's crazy. And for the weekend, I mean, we'll go from the 80s to very, very chilly by late Sunday.
This is crazy.
Hang on tight.
The whole month's been this way. It's just up and down.
Right. Poor vegetation. The red buds are beautiful right now.
Amazing.
They really are.
I like how you said don't get too excited and start planting because you know people want to. They want to get out and enjoy the sunshine and work in their yard.
If you do and you get really excited today, tomorrow, you're going to have to cover everything up come Monday because we're going to have a hard freeze.
Okay.
After that, there is a warming trend. No major cold air showing up.
So just wait till Monday.
Dry.
Okay.
Maybe a little after.
Okay.
Average last freeze is March 30th.
Yes.
Okay. But really, after Monday, there's not a lot of cold air showing up. Because of how warm we've been and just the time of year that it is, we are so close to spring officially beginning. That equinox is coming up next week as well. Yeah, this has been a problem. Allergy sufferers, again, cedar, elm, oak. It's the trees that are going nuts. We love to see it, but man, when you smell it and it gets all in your nostrils, goodness gracious, it causes problems. So allergy sufferers, we're doing it again. And until we get big soaking rains to flush things out, that is going to be the trend. And there's not a lot of water headed our way over the next 2 weeks. The drought monitor, of course, showing worsening conditions for central, southwestern Oklahoma, where there's just not been any moisture in the last 2 weeks. And then in southeast Oklahoma, a lot of improvement to the drought. Now, actually no drought showing up in a few of our southeast counties. But as we head through the next couple of weeks, that map gets worse and our temperatures creep up. By next week, not this week, next week for spring break, Thursday, close to records. Friday and Saturday, we will be close to breaking records that were sit back in the early 1900s. That's how hot we are about to get. It is a heat wave headed our way. Right now, a weak cold front's moving in. There's a lot of snow. Winter is still going on in the northern states, just not here in Oklahoma. Look at the crescent move over downtown. Isn't that beautiful? On our Lucky Star Sky Cam network, 45 is the temperature for your Friday morning. Winds are out of the south. They're 5 to 15. North wind will take hold. It'll be a little gusty through about midday, and then it backs off this afternoon. There are some 30s, 38 in Buffalo. It's 43 in Clinton, 49 in Jones, 50 in Ada, 38 in Hollis. And your planner for today, hour by hour, if you're going to be out and about, maybe the kids have some ball games today, we'll be at 68 by 1, 76 by 4 p.m., 73 in Stillwater, 75 in Ada, close to 80 in the southwest, and then everything changes. Tomorrow is a warm day because we get a lot of what we call warm air advection being pulled up into this. This area of low pressure is very intense. It's going to get very strong and deepen as it makes its way down to the southeast. So as it comes across the Rockies, our winds pick up. As it moves on by on Sunday, our winds will howl. It's going to be one of those days, Oklahoma, where it's gritty, it's dusty, and it's just honestly miserable to be outside because of how strong the winds will be. And if a fire were to get started, it could be a really bad day. Winds 40, 45, gusts to 50. We could have gusts 55 to 60 isolated at times in our western counties. The winds do start to back off by the late evening hours, and they're pretty light as we head into Monday morning. More on your weekend in just a second. Let me just take you through statewide temperatures. 40 degrees tonight. 39 in Woodward, 44 in Lawton. Highs for tomorrow into the 80s, and not just the low 80s, mid-upper 80s in the southwest. It'll be hotter for your Saturday. Now, we're warm Sunday morning. We're in the 60s, but we fall to the 40s and 50s by the afternoon, and it'll feel even colder due to that ripping north wind. Some blowing dust. It'll be kind of gritty on Sunday. Secure your lawn furniture, your trash cans. It's one of those types of days due to the wind. The winds won't be quite as strong off to the east, and we will have a mix of sun and clouds. And in fact, in the morning, there's a chance we get a little drizzle or a few sprinkles. There'll be a chance for a few thunderstorms to take off to the far eastern sides of the state on Sunday. So that's where the fire threat is not as high. The humidity is not extremely low. If it was, we would be up here in the extreme category. But since the humidity is up some, it's still a moderate to a high fire danger day. Okay, we're kind of splitting hairs there, but it's not a day to burn on Sunday. And in fact, there have been so many controlled burns over the last couple of days. If you've had prescribed burn on your property, watch it this weekend. By Monday morning, actually this is Sunday evening, we'll be in the 20s and 30s for feel-like temperatures Sunday evening. Monday morning, the actual air temperature will fall into the teens and 20s. Frigid by Monday morning, at least for March. That's the hard freeze. But after that, it's warm, 70 on Tuesday. We'll be in the 80s Wednesday, and here come the 90s by the end of next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Your time now is 5:48. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Gold. She's watching the roads, the traffic, getting ready for spring break. Hey, Megan.
Hey, we have just been having so much fun with Kylie's shot there and finding out where all the folks are traveling to for spring break. Just a look across the country, as she's been mentioning here in Oklahoma City, Will Rogers just fine, no big delays. And even with active weather up to the north, I just checked Chicago O'Hare over to Detroit and no big delays there either. Here's the Broadway extension back here at home. Those of you that travel I-35 looking good. Still pretty quiet out on the roadways. I-40 out to Meridian looking off to the west. Folks coming into Oklahoma City. So no accidents right now. All of our major thoroughfares are looking good. Just be safe as you hit the roadways. And as always, I'll let you know if we have any accidents or if things change, guys. Back over to you.
And a heads up for drivers in the metro tomorrow. The westbound ramp from I-40 to I-240, it's in red right there, will be closed in southeast Oklahoma City for some bridge work. The closure is expected to last from 6 tomorrow morning until 6 tomorrow night. So your Saturday, this is in effect.
Still ahead here on News 9, Paying It Forward, how personal experiences are helping a new recovery center pave the way for people battling addiction. It's after the break.
All right, closing in on 6 a.m. on a Friday morning. Megan, what are you doing this weekend? Anything good?
I'm flying out.
Oh,
you
better
better
get
get here now. I'm not getting
You
there
better
3 hours.
circle
3
in.
hours. I'm nervous.
before.
I know. I have a late flight, so I'm hoping things are very quiet by then.
Megan's like,
I'll report back to you.
I gotta get there right now.
Spending the afternoon in the airport. That's a fun way to spend a break.
Live updates the whole time.
Oklahoma City is one of the easiest airports to fly out of. So when they said you got to get here 3 hours early, I
Imagine
think
what
everyone's like, what is happening in the world right now?
I know. We were Watching the lines this morning, just getting in to check the luggage is long. That wasn't even the TSA line.
Yes.
So just keep your smile on. It will all pass.
Spring break, got to focus
right?
on that. But take heed to the warning. Get there early. How awful would it be to miss your flight?
Oh, man.
You
Oh, my
know,
gosh.
Because
Yeah.
you weren't prepared. This morning, nothing weather-wise to slow you down. And really across the country, in the north, we've got some big-time winter weather happening, but that's not impacting Oklahoma. It's giving us a weak cold front. Look how weak it is. We're still in the 70s later today. Sunshine, 76 degrees with a northeast wind.
So weak.
So weak.
Colby, what are you guys doing this weekend? Anything good?
Well, our last basketball game, so.
Oh,
right.
How's the season looking? Okay or no?
We're hoping to win one.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
Nowhere to go but up.
We do want to tell you this morning, a new recovery center is offering hope to those looking for a fresh start. And it's being led by people who understand the journey of battling addiction. Mike Glover shows us how an Oklahoma man is offering second chances in this morning's Something Good.
After his military service, Drew Laboon went through some challenges, but it was those challenges that propelled him into his destiny of helping others.
When I retired from the military in 2016, I had no purpose, I had no identity.
Sadly, Drew turned to alcohol as a solution.
Before I knew it, I was drinking 24 hours a day.
After years of going in and out of treatment facilities, Drew was referred to Pathways Recovery, where clinicians brought him face to face with his real issues.
Let's back up to when you were a child. And it was the first time anyone ever wanted to address those things.
Drew did address those things and eventually began working at the treatment center that impacted his life.
I started working in admissions. And then shortly after that, I started doing the outreach. Then I was promoted to the director of operations.
Today, Drew is Chief Operating Officer of Pathway Recovery, where they just opened their newest facility, Renewal Springs, and he had just the person to lead this initiative.
We see you, we know what you've been through, and we want to help you through it.
Tara McDonald is the executive director, and her approach to helping their clients is personal.
I found myself several times at the doorstep of places like this asking for help.
The transparency of their own challenges creates an environment of success for their clients.
I brought my lived experience for what worked, what could be, made better.
We say in the recovery community that I don't have to know the exact details of your story to know your story.
Now we'll have the contact information for Renewal Springs with this story on our website. Creating healing through personal challenges. That is something good. I'm Mike Glover for Oklahoma's Own.
Still ahead this morning, the Sooners moving on to the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament after beating Texas A&M last night. A big recap next.
Good morning, I'm Colby Thielen. Right now on News 9 at 6, Metro synagogues on high alert after a man slams his truck into a synagogue in Michigan. We're hearing from a rabbi here who says she can't get stuck in her feelings. That plus this.
We cannot continue to allow people to just do whatever they want to do, and then we don't. It's entitlement.
Oklahoma County Jail Trustee Derek Scobie now calling for Jail Trustee Chairman Jim Holman to resign after Holman approved $250,000 in pay raises for jail workers, despite this $5 million budget shortfall. I'm Lacey Lowry. Coming up, why Scobie wants the pay raises investigated.
SGA tries to shoot it.
Oh, what a night. That was the shot right there. It goes in, and SGA breaks Wilt Chamberlain's more than 60-year-old record for the longest streak of games scoring more than 20 points. I'm Robin Marsh. Why SGA says he didn't even realize that was the shot that broke the record. We talked to him after the game. You'll hear it all coming up.
Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
I think they had a big party downtown for SGA.
They were still partying at Mahogany when we were coming into work, if that tells you anything. It was a big night.
Like, let's go, SGA. He didn't even realize that was the bucket. I loved it. He said, I knew I'd get there, but I didn't realize that was the one.
That was the actual shot. The crowd let him know, though.
It's so impressive. And it's not like SGA just goes out and jacks up threes all night. I mean, these are like jumpers, mid-range jumpers, and he consistently does it over and over again.
So good.
Again.
Amazing to watch.
Just so
it
good.
Is. We're talking some amazing weather if you like nice spring break forecast, at least for half of the weekend. Lacey, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Still living on that Thunder high. That's for sure. So exciting. I love that the players afterwards came up to him and doused him in ice water while he's standing there on the court. Way to celebrate. They're always giving him grief, always celebrating with him, though. And yeah, the weather, definitely something to enjoy today. Tomorrow, big cold front hits for your Sunday and then close to record highs. Right now, we're tracking a weak front for your Friday morning coming in from the north. So it's going to give us a north breeze. All the winter weather, the snow with it is staying well to the north, and our next storm is coming into the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to crank up that Oklahoma wind. Right now, as you head out, it's much warmer than yesterday. We've got 40s and 50s as you're out the door. 50 in Arcadia, 45 in Piedmont, 41 in Woodward, 39 in Ponca City. Some of the low-lying areas you have fallen into the 30s. Winds right now are about 10 to 20. They're weaker up in the northwest, and as you make your plans for your Friday, from the 40s into the 70s later today. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Temperatures will warm all the way up into the 70s for the bus stoppers today. We'll talk about that more in detail coming up in just a few minutes. What you need to know for the weekend, it is straight whiplash from 80s to a ripping cold front, a hard freeze, and near records next week. It's a busy 9-day. The details are coming up.
Lacey, thank you. Now to your headlines this morning. On the northwest side of Oklahoma City, police are looking for a driver who they say hit and badly injured a 9-year-old child. It happened right before 9 p.m. last night near the Northwest Expressway in Wilshire. That child was taken to the hospital. So far, his condition has not been released. Police say the suspect, though, was driving a black sedan.
Jewish communities here in the metro are on high alert after a violent attack in Detroit where an armed suspect rammed his truck into a synagogue. Security guards there killed the suspect. Here in Oklahoma City, Rabbi Abby Jacobson says she feels angry, sad, and scared about what happened yesterday, but unfortunately was not surprised by the attack. She says her Oklahoma City synagogue has recently seen an increase in hateful messages, but she says take action and don't give in to despair.
We can't be too bitter. We can't be too scared. We can't be too sad, and we can't be too angry. We should be all of those things. But we together will also find reasons to be happy.
Rabbi Jacobson says the synagogue has also received an outpouring of support, with many reminding them that anti-Semitism has no home here.
Kind of an interesting story here. A Durant mother and wife is suing two businesses that she says contributed to a crash that killed her husband and daughter. This was over a year ago. It happened Christmas Eve of 2024 when the family's SUV went off the road and into a flooded ditch just over the Texas-Oklahoma state line. Will Robinson died at the scene. His daughter, 8-year-old Clara, was swept away by the floodwaters. Her body has never been found. Well, meanwhile, in a lawsuit, Kristen Robinson claims that police cited lack of tread on the family car tires as a cause of the crash. She says that she's alleging two auto businesses never, ever identified the safety issues with the tires on the car during inspections that took place months before the car crashed. The lawsuit is seeking at least $75,000 in damage.
Oklahoma County Jail trustee Derek Scobie calling for the trust chairman, Jim Holman, to resign after raises for employees show up on payroll despite a $5 million budget shortfall. At a meeting earlier this week, Scobie wanted answers about who authorized the nearly $250,000 in pay raises. The group had voted to pause them in January, but those raises showed up nonetheless on the payroll last month. Scobie is now calling for an investigation.
That's what I've been waiting on, and I have it now. It's date stamped to show that these raises, went into effect after the board voted to pause them.
Chairman Holman is calling the effort political theater, but says he welcomes an investigation. He believes not enough attention is being paid to the underfunding issue at the jail.
Your time now 6:06, taking a live look at our nation's capital this morning. Governor Kevin Stitt meets with President Donald Trump about appointing someone to fill Senator Markwayne Mullin's Senate seat. News 9's Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron actually asked the governor in D.C. about whether he himself may enter the race.
Are you interested in running yourself, sir?
I'm just interested right now in picking the very, very best person for this position and representing Oklahoma as well. And we're going to find a great one.
We know Senator Mullin's confirmation hearing to become the next DHS secretary will be next Wednesday. If confirmed, he would step down from the Senate, and Governor Stitt would then have 30 days to appoint someone to fill the remainder of that term. Governor Stitt's appointee would serve until the November election.
Kind of interesting times politically in Oklahoma. Let's see if it's interesting on the roads this morning. Meteorologist Megan Gold, hopefully quieter in your area this morning. Megan?
It is very quiet in my area. Hopefully we will keep it that way. We've got our crews out on the roadways just in case we have any issues. This is the view from our Stephen Owsley looking off to the north at Southeast 51st on I-35. Keeping an eye for those of you that commute in from the south side. Several more shots to show you. Our Mathis home cam showing the morning drive, kind of picking up some, but still pretty quiet overall. If we could take links 1, I've got several shots to show you here, control room. Maybe not. If not, we'll just keep watching Stephen's shot here. There we go. Our Mathis home cam. There's I-40, I-44, and the Broadway extension coming in from the north side. Looks good. I-44 at North 10th, looking off to the north. So metro-wide over to I-40 and Air Depot out by Tinker. Things are quiet, but overall the morning commute shouldn't cause you any problems. No accidents, no slowdowns, and your drive times into OKC are looking good from all directions.
Well, we're talking Thunder. Oh, what a night. It was a record-setting night for SGA. He breaks Wilt Chamberlain's record of straight games with 20-plus points.
It's really incredible. This comes as the Thunder also beat the Boston Celtics 104-102. Ooh. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGee, he gives us the recap this morning.
SGA almost broke the record in the first half last night against Boston. He had 17 points in the first half. His first 2 points in the third quarter were from the free throw line. Then he hits about a 20-footer to break the record. And believe him or not, he didn't realize that shot was the one that passed up Wilt Chamberlain.
I knew I was around there, but I didn't know exactly how many. I could tell I was gonna get there eventually tonight. But yeah, I didn't know exactly how many. But once I heard the crowd, I was like, oh, okay, that must have been it.
I was oblivious too. I don't know how he didn't know, because obviously he knew coming into the game, and then the crowd was cheering like it was tie game, end of the game, in the middle of, what was it, third quarter? Yeah. Third quarter? And I was oblivious. I was like, why did it just get so loud out of nowhere? And then I started seeing Wilt Chamberlain stuff on the Jumbotron during the timeout.
Near the end of the game, Shea had a chance to hit the game-winning shot, but he deferred to Alex Caruso. Caruso missed the shot from the corner. Chet Holmgren gets the rebound. He's fouled. He knocks down 2 free throws. Thunder win by 2. Oklahoma City back to work Sunday at noon against the Minnesota Timberwolves. After that, they're on the road for 5 straight. From Paycom Center, Steve McGee, Oklahoma's own.
I love how the whole team didn't realize until that moment
Yeah.
that was the shot. It just shows you they're focused on the game itself.
Yes.
And then all these other records, we'll break them along the way.
I thought it was kind of interesting because as I was watching the game, I kept thinking, are they going to pass it to Shea? Let him just go ahead and take the shot. And they're like, nope, pass it. Whoever has the best shot
team
takes the shot.
That's right.
We also not forget Will Chamberlain, 7'1", 275. SGA 6'6", about $195.
There you
I
go.
mean, it's amazing to watch him play and just get it done on the court and
Took
always
63
find a way to
years
score.
to break that record.
Yeah,
Wow.
Incredible. Let's turn now to the Bob Mills Weather Center. We also have an incredible Friday lined up for us.
Let's go. Lacey.
Good morning. It looks amazing. This morning's not nearly as cold as yesterday. We were in the 20s yesterday morning. Now we're heading out into the 40s, a few 50s. This afternoon, 70s. Sunshine, winds out of the northeast. This morning, the crescent moon over downtown is beautiful. Sun comes up at 7:44. We'll be in the upper 50s and low 60s by lunchtime. We'll time out your entire weekend because, man, big changes are on the way. You're going to want to see it, especially plan to be outdoors Sunday. It's Weather Whiplash on your 9-day coming up.
The Oklahoma Attorney General says he's getting ready to sue a second insurance company, accusing it of underpaying damage claims in our state. In just a moment, why he says this reveals a much bigger problem.
All right, the last bus stop forecast before spring break.
Oh, wow.
For some of the kids. Yeah,
How are your
exciting.
boys feeling about spring break? Are they excited?
I think so. I don't know if they've realized it yet. I'm sure they will this afternoon, but no, we don't have a lot of plans, just spending time together.
Enjoy the weather.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least for a while.
Exactly. If you like the 80s and the 90s, you're really going to enjoy it. We were talking about this earlier, but the beaches of the Oklahoma lakes are going to be a hot commodity coming up.
Like
next
Minnetonka.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
Oh my
Lake
gosh.
Thunderbird, board. Woo! Some of those coves.
Beach forecast. Here we
Yeah,
go.
we're going to start doing that. I'm doing that next week.
You should,
I'm doing a
actually.
spring break beach forecast.
I love it. Okay.
Water temps are in the 50s, so enjoy that. This morning as you're heading out, we're in the 40s. There are a few 50s out there right now, and for midday, we'll be in the upper 50s, low 60s, 73 degrees at 3 p.m. We'll get a couple degrees warmer. Our peak heating now is about 4:30 in the afternoon. Sunshine is what we're expecting as well. It's going to be a beautiful day. Winds are a little gusty right now and into the midday hours. Then they taper off. And what's going to be hard to come by is heavy rain across Oklahoma. We've had rounds of storms, rounds of severe weather. We'll have some showers, maybe some thunderstorms on Sunday, but it's not statewide. Most of it will not be in our viewing area. And our next chance for rain is coming up at the end of the month of March, like 2 weeks down the road, which means the drought and fire danger still should be top of mind for folks. And for a lot of folks, you can't escape it. If you're a farmer, rancher, landowner, or just even your lawn, you know we are hurting for water in portions of the state. Now, the cold front moving in, passing by dry. Look at all the advisories to the north, all those blizzard warnings going on along the Great Lakes. There's been winter storm watches, warnings that our next storm is going to bring us a chance for some showers Sunday, but really what you're going to notice is a ripping north wind. Right now, winds are fairly light. The crescent moon has been beautiful under clear skies. 43 degrees is the temperature now at Will Rogers. We keep dropping a couple more degrees. North winds, they're trying to filter on down to the south with a weak front. Ahead of it, a south breeze, and we still have a south wind in OKC, 40s and some 50s. The cold front, not too awful stout. Behind it, there are a few 30s. And this afternoon, you'll be at 72 in Alba, 73 in Stillwater, Ada, 75, really just feeling comfortable, kind of low humidity, winds not out of control. Beautiful for the afternoon, the evening, and tonight. Tonight is a little above average again. We're in the 30s and the 40s. And then for your Saturday, you have big weekend plans. Saturday's gonna be warm, back to the 80s. We're not breaking records. The record is 85, which is actually kind of a low record for this time of year. 83 in Clinton, 85 in Lawton, 86 in Altus. But then here it comes. By Saturday night and early Sunday, the wind starts to pick up with this next storm. It's a very deep area of low pressure. As it strengthens and really bottoms out and crosses over the Rockies and that stretching begins, our winds will go berserk on Sunday. For a while, they do start to taper off by the evening, but watch just the wind field. If you plan on traveling or if you've got a high-profile vehicle, if you're getting the RV out, that sort of thing, and you think you're going to travel up and down the plains, the winds will not be howling just in Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, all the way up and down the plains. That north wind is going to be a nuisance. How strong? 35, 45 mile an hour gusts will be pretty consistent, and we'll try to get gusts in here of 50, 55. We may have isolated gusts to 60 miles per hour on Sunday. So blowing dust, and of course, with the drought going on and most of the vegetation still dormant, we're talking high fire danger. But I want you to know the humidity will be higher, and we might actually get a few showers to wring out of this. We're going to try to wring every drop of moisture we can out of the storm as it arrives by Sunday afternoon. Now we'll start in the 60s. Sunday afternoon into the evening, 40s, 50s, and temperatures will drop like a rock overnight. There is a chance for a stray sprinkle, a weak shower, and off into eastern Oklahoma, that cold front may spark a few thunderstorms on Sunday with some of the latest data. So the fire threat is moderate to high for a while. If it wasn't for the humidity being up some, this would be an extreme wildfire risk day, but you should treat it like that. Definitely do not burn, and if you've had prescribed burns on your property, watch them very closely on Sunday because winds 50, 60, fires could burn out of control pretty rapidly. Now the wind chill by the evening, we're talking 80s, right, on Saturday. Sunday, back to feeling like winter. By Monday morning, we'll have teens and 20s across the region. It will be very cold, a hard freeze Monday, 25 degrees in Oklahoma City, 19 Alva, 19 in Woodward. After that, we're in the 40s for highs on Monday, but 70 on Tuesday. Then we're switching gears. When we talk about a roller coaster ride in Oklahoma weather, this is it for the weekend, and then also next week for spring break, and close to record highs by the end of your 9-day. Back to you guys.
Lacey, thanks so much. Hey, a reminder as you're watching this morning, we are also streaming our newscast on the News 9 YouTube page. You can actually scan this QR code to get to our page, subscribe, join in on the chat. A lot of folks talking about the Thunder game last night. We'll be looking over your comments, maybe reading a few later this morning.
6:19 your time right now. Let's get a check of traffic with meteorologist Megan Gold. Megan, folks going to be keeping the headlights on just a little longer these days.
I know, those later sunrises, I don't know if they're getting anybody else, but they're absolutely getting me. The perk, though, is that we have our sunset an hour later. You all know that one. But to compare it to January 1st, our sunset is 2 hours later and then some. So I tell you what, as we go towards spring into summer, those later sunsets are really, really nice, especially for spring break and keeping the kiddos maybe up a little later at night. Here's the Broadway extension, still looking good out on the roadways this morning. I-35 looking off to the north, picking up some, but no accidents and no slowdowns. I-40 here just south of downtown, looking off to the west. It looks good as well. So a little bit of a slowdown developing in the eastbound lanes of I-40, but no accidents to report to you here this morning, or maybe we actually do have something here on our map, this home cam. I'll check it out and get back to you guys here in just a few minutes.
All right, the Sooner men's basketball team advances to the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. They play again tonight. Coming up, how they were able to overcome a team that beat them twice earlier in the season. We're talking about it next. Well, the Sooner men's basketball team continued to roll on in the SEC tournament.
I tell you, it was a big win last night. OU beats A&M 83-63. OU now is in the quarterfinals tonight. News 9 Sports Director Toby Rowland with the highlights from Nashville.
Well, in the most improbable of ways, Oklahoma has made Selection Sunday very interesting. A dominant second-round win over Texas A&M here in Nashville on Thursday night, 83-63. They were great in every way. Nigel Pack, 20 points, 4 3-pointers. Oklahoma gobbled up 19 offensive rebounds. That's more than they had in any SEC game so far this season. They outscored the Aggies in second chance points 18-1, and they win their 6th consecutive game, 8th in the last 10. It's the 4th consecutive win over a team they lost to in the regular season. They lost to the Aggies twice. Big picture, what does this mean for Oklahoma? Is that enough to get them into the NCAA tournament? Maybe. A lot depends on what else happens around the rest of the country. Certainly a win over a highly thought of and the 3 seed here in Nashville, Arkansas Razorbacks on Friday night, would go a long ways toward sealing the deal. What a magical late season run it has been for Oklahoma. We'll see if it can continue on Friday. Tip-off at 8:30 here in the Music City. Reporting from Nashville, I'm Toby Rowland, Oklahoma.
Come on, Sooners. All right, hey, Selection Sunday right here on News 9 this Sunday at 5 p.m.
Can I just say something? Have you guys noticed the roll they've been on since that fire at the popcorn machine?
That's what it was.
Light it up. Turned it around after that.
Cranked up
Not
that heat.
saying, I'm just saying.
Burning down the house.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Guys, check this out. We won't be long. The crappie are going to be on fire. That crappie bite's starting to pick up a little bit at many of the area lakes. Look at this. This is little Brooks, 6 years old on the riprap there. And check it out.
Crappie.
They're just so beautiful. They're such a gorgeous fish, and they taste. They are the best.
That's a
they
great
make the best
picture.
Crappie sandwich. Awesome. Thank
Yum.
you for sending in your pictures. We love to see them. Now, as far as the area lakes, they are starting to warm up. Those water temps are increasing. So are the soil temperatures. One of the key indicators for a crappie and the spawn ongoing is usually the ground temperature getting into the 50s, which causes the red buds to bloom. So when the red buds bloom, you know the water temperatures are getting warm enough at the area lakes for the crappie spawn to begin. Now, water temperatures are in the 40s, the 50s. By the time they get to the 50s and low 60s, that bite will be on fire. Today, we're warm into the 70s with sunny skies. We'll talk about what to expect for the weekend. A lot of wind headed our way. That's coming up.
Lacey, thanks. Let's take a live look at Will Rogers International Airport this morning. Spring break travel underway. How are things looking at TSA? And to check your bag, we're going to check in with Kylie Dedman right after this.
watching Oklahoma's own News 9 This Morning.
And some national news here at 6:30, just into our newsroom. 4 U.S. military members killed in the Iran conflict after a refueling plane went down in Iraq in friendly airspace. U.S. Central Command says the loss of the plane and crew members was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire. The circumstances of the crash still under investigation.
Also headlines this morning, a Metro family is asking for help finding a pregnant woman who was scheduled to deliver her baby yesterday but never showed up. We're talking about 26-year-old Jordan Claiborne. Here's her pictures. She was last seen wearing a blue and white jogging suit, driving a silver Nissan Altima. Her car tag was seen on flock cameras near Northwest 63rd and Lake Hefner Parkway. If you have any information, the family is asking, please contact Midwest City Police.
And SGA breaks a 63-year-old record with that shot right there. It was the Thunder's big win over the Boston Celtics last night. And after halftime, he broke Wilt Chamberlain's record of longest streak with 20-plus points in a game. It's now 127 and growing. Oklahoma City beat Boston. It was a close one, 104-102. The Thunder on cloud 9 this morning, and the crowd went absolutely wild. It was such a big moment.
SGA just strikes me as the type of person that cares more about the win than the record.
Yes.
Don't you think the part that they beat Boston was more
Absolutely.
important?
I love it that he said, well, I knew I was close, but I wasn't sure that was the shot.
That was the basket. And then the crowd's like, it was the basket. Absolutely.
Where's this crowd roaring all of a
So
sudden?
they played back at home this Sunday afternoon, then on the road for kind of 5 games, I believe.
I know, every game counts.
Sure does. Getting close to playoff time and right in springtime. What, a week away now, Lacey Swope?
That's right. 1 week from today, it's the equinox, as we have equal amounts of daylight and darkness, and that will spark the first official day of spring. Although we've already transitioned weather-wise, we've already had big-time severe weather. We've had just 1 below as far as the tornado count goes from tying the record, and those are all preliminary tornado count numbers. I'll give you the latest on those coming up at 6:45. Right now, getting you out the door on your Friday. Cold front is moving in. It's very weak. Behind it, we'll have a north breeze up to the north. Winter weather going on. That does not make it down into the plains. We're going to be warm today. 43 in Yukon, 49 in Hara, 45 at Lake Thunderbird. We are above average. Yesterday we were 20s. Okay, you needed the big coat yesterday. Not today. In fact, just a jacket, and by this afternoon, we will warm it back up. That cold front, the winds with it are 15. We might have some gusts to 25 once the sun comes up. Temperatures from the 40s into the mid-upper 70s later today. Now, currently on the Broadway extension, traffic is just fine. I-40 is a mess. Megan will have an update for you on that in just a minute. Temperatures will be in the 70s, then into the 40s and 50s, a hard freeze, guys, and close to record highs next week. We'll get to the details of your weekend. We're talking a whole lot of wind that's coming up.
Lacey, thank you. Let's talk to Megan right now about that I-40 crash. She has the latest. Megan?
Hey, this is just a follow-up on that shot I showed you a few minutes ago. This is our Mathis home camera, and you can see several cars here. We're not quite sure how many cars involved, but there has been a crash in the eastbound lanes. Oklahoma Highway Patrol has just showed up, so things were smooth sailing until just moments ago, and now quite a bit of a headache on the west side of the metro if you're commuting in to the east. So again, the eastbound lanes of I-40 at Portland, and that backup extends back to Meridian and MacArthur. So several shots to show you here on our ODOT cameras. It's been kind of hit or miss for us at a standstill, and then things kind of pick up again. But to switch the view for you and look out to the west, look how far that backup extends. If you're coming in to Oklahoma City, Yukon, Mustang, El Reno, I would give yourself a good extra 10 to 15 minutes, guys. Back over to you.
An Oklahoma man is now charged with first-degree manslaughter after the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says his blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit when he crashed into and killed a Coweta student. It happened early Sunday morning. Troopers say 18-year-old Isabella Clay was driving on Highway 72 in Muskogee County when the suspect, Levi Crawford, crossed the center line and hit her head-on. Isabella Clay died at the scene. Troopers now say Crawford showed signs of impairment. He was taken to the hospital and released, but later surrendered himself to the jail. He is being held without bond this morning. His next court date is Monday.
A second day of preliminary hearings underway here in Oklahoma County Court when a judge is expected to decide if 2 Metro parents will stand trial in connection to a dog mauling death of their 2-year-old little girl. Darcy Lambert and Jordan McGuire are charged with first-degree murder after police say little Lachlan Rose was attacked by the same dog twice inside the family's home last November. You might remember we covered this story extensively. We're told the second attack by the dog actually killed the child. And the court records show that a hearing on Wednesday was paused at the end of the day during a sixth witness testimony. The preliminary hearing will pick back up on May the 7th.
Oklahoma's Attorney General Gentner Drummond says that his office will likely sue a second insurance company in the coming weeks, accusing it of underpaying damage claims. This stems from Drummond's efforts to intervene in a lawsuit where an Oklahoma family says State Farm underpaid wind and hail claims by redefining what counts as damage. The AG sat down with Oklahoma's own political analyst, Scott Mitchell, and says his investigation has revealed a much bigger problem.
I can assure the listeners in this broadcast segment that every insurance company in the state of Oklahoma is being reviewed by my office. We have reason to believe there's one, I don't want to disclose them yet, will more likely than not be sued by my office in the next 4 weeks.
Meanwhile, the AG and State Farm are scheduled to argue in front of the state Supreme Court on April 27th.
You have to see this video from Colorado. Gusty winds whip up so much dust. That's a highway.
Whoa.
Can you imagine? It shut down highways, toppled semis. Drivers couldn't even see where they were going. Officials say wind gusts reached up to 90 miles per hour, whipping up so much dust that literally low visibility on highways, multiple crashes as a result. Can you imagine trying to drive in that?
Scary.
Well, I tell you, they're lucky no one got killed on something like that.
Yes.
You have someone coming through at a high rate of speed, realizing then, everyone stopped in front of you.
They finally had to shut things down. They said it's too dangerous.
And where do you go? Pull over to the shoulder where other drivers could potentially hit you there too. It's a scary situation. Wow.
All right, we're going to talk about the weekend weather. It's Friday. We're ready for the weekend. Lacey's got the forecast. It's kind of a 1-2 punch for us, it sounds like.
We're watching for wind, that could cause similar conditions in the panhandle of Oklahoma coming up this weekend. So, yeah, we've had that play out time and time again already. Last month, February, we had similar scenes in Oklahoma with blowing dust. The wind will howl heading into Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. It'll be a northwest breeze, ramping up fire danger, bringing in much colder air. Hey, before that, Saturday looks great. Your full weekend forecast is coming up.
And we're continuing to follow this breaking news. A crash on I-40 in the eastbound lanes. It's causing a headache for some on your morning commute. This is a live look from our news tracker, Stephen Owsley. He just got to the scene, so we're seeing it there up close for the first time. Several cars involved. He's stopped on the shoulder. 2 Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers are there. We'll have an update in your morning drive right after the break.
Good morning. Welcome back. It is 6:41 here on your Friday morning, and a big traffic headache continues out on the west side in the eastbound lanes of I-40. Our Stephen Owsley has just gotten there, and what you're seeing here is this shot looking off to the west, and these are headlights. Traffic essentially at a standstill. Let me show you several more shots from our Mathis home camera. These are the cars involved, and we don't really have specifics on exactly what happened here, but OHP on the scene there, and quite a significant backup. So here it is on the map again, out on the west side in the eastbound lanes of I-40. The crash has happened at Portland, but the backup extends all the way out to Meridian, MacArthur, and now even farther west than that. So there's all the folks kind of in the standstill, I-40 and Meridian, and then looking off to the west just from another shot. So if you are commuting into Oklahoma City from the west side, I would give yourself extra time. This is going to slow you down, guys. Over to you at the desk.
Not a good way to start the day.
I know. I hate that. Right at 6:42 this morning. Okay, a lot of folks getting ready for spring break.
Getting ready, getting closer. The weather's going to be a little wild as far as the kind of rocky weather we've had, the severe weather we've had. That's not in the forecast. But we're going to start really cold, and then we're going to get really hot.
Let's go.
A little bit of something for everyone.
Yeah.
Surveys are still being done on the severe weather that we had, those tornadoes. So now here's the latest. These numbers change about every day. Just new tornadoes being added as those surveys are being finished. So just to show you for the months up until now, in January, we had those 5 tornadoes. Remember that early in the morning, that event on January 8th tied the record for the most tornadoes in January. February, no tornadoes, but we had wildfires, we had the dust storms, all that sort of stuff going on. And now for March, the preliminary number is at 16. The record is 17 tornadoes. So we'll keep updating you on those surveys and the ratings as those numbers come in. But here's kind of the count across the entire state. So far, we've had 21. For the entire year, we averaged 59 tornadoes in Oklahoma. David had his spring forecast last night. If you missed it, that is online. You should check it out. It does look like an above average year this year as well. So we've already had several tornadoes in the South Metro. That was back in January. And then off to the east, so far southern Oklahoma, no tornadoes. But we'll see how this map looks as we head through the next couple of months, because that's when our count usually does start to go up drastically. Cold front is making its way in, and I'll tell you, behind it, we've got a north breeze. Winds aren't too awful crazy. It's going to dry us out some, knock the humidity down a little bit into the afternoon, and that's about it. None of the precipitation up to the north is going to make it into Oklahoma. So a dry day today, and your spring break is looking very dry. Lucky Star Skycam Network live from Regency. It's 43 degrees right now. The boundary is slipping through. It'll give us that northeast wind, but the wind's about 15 to 25. Today and tomorrow, enjoy the wind and enjoy how calm it is, because it's going to be a whole different story come Sunday. With the boundary moving through, some 30s behind it, 40s and some 50s to the south of it. And this afternoon, our winds are kind of out of the northeast for 72. In Enid, 73 in Stillwater, 75 in Ada, 80 degrees in Altus, and then tonight, 30s and 40s. So tonight will be kind of a calm night, a quiet night, pretty typical for this time of year. Tomorrow's above average. Our normal high is 62. We're almost 20 degrees above normal for your Saturday, but everything that goes up must come down, and it comes down in a hurry on your Sunday. Big weather whiplash on the way, and this is the culprit. Big area of low pressure. It's been moving in from Russia. It's making its way over the Gulf of Alaska. It will quickly get caught up in the jet stream and push in from the northwest, and with that, winds will pick up. Here's just what the wind field will look like on Sunday. The boundary moves in early. Winds come ripping down the plains, and it's not just Oklahoma. So if you have a high-profile vehicle, you plan on traveling around on Sunday, look at the winds through Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, up and down the plains, and then spreading off to the northwest. But I'll put some values on here for you. You can see how strong those winds will be. In the morning, 30 to 40, okay? But by the afternoon, 40 mile per hour gusts will be pretty common, okay? 45 and 50, and some areas could see 55 to 60 mile per hour winds. That is enough to cause some blowing dust, especially in the Panhandle and in western Oklahoma, the southwest, where the drought rages on. Winds start to taper off by late in the evening, and they're much weaker as we head into your Monday. That also pulls in really chilly air. So from the 80s on Saturday to 40s and 50s, but feeling colder on Sunday. Now, there is some good news out of this. There's some moisture right along that boundary that might give us a few sprinkles, a little light rain. The humidity is not bottoming out with this storm system. We'll have a chance for even a few thunderstorms off to the far east and southeast. But if you've had fires this week, here's just some of the fires from yesterday. These were prescribed burns because it's that time of year. Watch them closely because the winds pick up high enough, the humidity drops low enough, at least in the afternoon and evening, to give us moderate to high fire danger. Now, if we were to get a little bit more rainfall out of this, we might bring this down a notch. We'll see how it shakes out. But obviously with the winds that strong, a fire, not a good idea. It's a horrible idea. Wind chills will be in the 20s and 30s by Sunday evening, and the air temperature will drop into the teens and lower mid-20s. That's a hard freeze Monday morning, so don't put the tomato plants out just yet. Okay, wait on the peppers. We got to wait until we get past this hard freeze. 70 on Tuesday. Then here come the 80s and the 90s. So spring breakers, it's going to feel like the Bahamas coming up. That's more like Miami by the time we head into next week.
All right, we are following that breaking news. I-40, you're looking live right now in the eastbound lanes right at Portland. There's a crash involving several cars. We know troopers are on scene, and the traffic backup is stretching pretty far past Portland. So the left side of your screen is the traffic jam. We're asking about injuries. We saw a bunch of folks outside their cars talking to each other, so hopefully no one too badly injured, but the traffic impact at 647, you're looking at it. Again, I-40 eastbound at Portland. We're back after this.
Welcome back. If you are heading out to the airport this morning to begin those spring break plans, heads up. The airport says get there 3 hours early.
Did you say that again?
3 hours early.
I need all the help I can get, don't we all? Airports are expecting to see a record high of 171 million flyers just for spring break, and they're already lined up out at Will Rogers International. So is Kylie Dedman. Are you going anywhere, girl? Have you packed your bags as well?
Yeah, actually, I have everything packed. It's in my photographer's car. So once this live shot's done, I'm out the door. I think I told people I was going on 5 different trips. I got the British Virgin Islands. I have a 4-week cruise. I'm going to Colorado. And then I'm hoping I can maybe go on another trip somewhere else. So I'll keep you updated. You might just not see me until May, but we'll see what happens. So there's been tons of people here at Will Rogers International Airport. I know kind of seeing behind me, it doesn't look like it, but the earlier flights, it was packed. We had people almost out the door checking their bags at American Airlines. But here in the security lines for TSA, you just walk right on up and it's a breeze here at Will Rogers International Airport. But this is not the case that's happening at those bigger airports. Airports like Dallas, Houston, New York, and Atlanta, they're seeing lines up to 4 hours long. So we are so thankful here at Will Rogers International Airport that that is not the case. But of course, you got to be prepared whenever you fly back home, or if you have family members flying somewhere, even at those bigger airports, maybe send them a text to say, hey, get to the airport hours in advance. Now, like I was saying earlier, we saw those lines at checked bags. They were going almost out the door. People were saying that they were waiting, they were probably waiting for about 45 minutes. They were in a line still waiting to get to just the front kiosk areas for 30 minutes, and they were still having tons of people in front of them. So, of course, everything has calmed down here, but of course, this is just the very beginning of spring break. So, of course, pack your patience. There will be lines coming later today, so just be prepared to spend some quality time with TSA and maybe some other passengers. You might meet some new friends, and maybe they're on your flight as well. So, definitely just be prepared for longer lines. TSA agents, like y'all were saying, are telling passengers to get to the airport at least 3 hours early. And if you have any family members in Texas, or you're going to be flying back here to Oklahoma City from Texas, they're telling their people to get to the airport at least 4 hours early. So just something to keep in mind if you're traveling to Texas when you're coming back home or anything of that sort. So just something to keep in mind here. But as you can see, it is a breeze here at Will Rogers International Airport. We love this airport so much, and we are so thankful for that. But of course, we'll keep you updated. I'm looking at the boards right now, and arrivals and departures, everything is on time. So we love that, and we love to see that. We'll keep you updated as well, so stay with News 9 for your flight departures and arrivals. Reporting live here at Will Rogers International Airport, Kylie Dedman, Oklahoma's own News 9.
So no delays there. Kylie, thank you. It's a different story on the roads this morning. We are following breaking news, a crash on I-40 in the eastbound lanes, causing some headaches for the morning commute. You're looking live right now near Portland, I-40 eastbound at Portland. A crash involving at least 4 cars. They are on the shoulder. There's also 2 highway patrol troopers that are there working the scene, and it's causing delays if you're coming in from the west portion of the metro, I-40 eastbound at Portland. Traffic is moving, but it's slow going this morning. Back after this.
And breaking news this morning, the U.S. Central Command confirms 4 crew members have died after a refueling plane went down in Iraq in friendly airspace. Officials say the loss of the aircraft was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire. We do know that Tinker Air Force Base does have this type of aircraft, the KC-135, but there's no confirmation just where this plane came from. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
Megan's watching the roadways for us right now. We've got a big snag on I-40.
We do. Eastbound I-40 at Portland. This is the view from our Stephen Owsley. Quite a significant backup and a traffic headache if you were headed into Oklahoma City from the west side. Let me show you the view from our Mathis home camera. Several cars showing up on the shoulder, and we don't know exactly how many cars were involved. OHP still on the scene there. And to show you where this is on the map, again, this is just west of I-44, eastbound lanes of I-40 at Portland, and the backup extends nearly out to Council. So it's at a standstill for many, many spots. I would give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes if you were coming into OKC.
And the big story everyone's talking about, SGA breaks a 63-year-old record with this shot. Boom. In the Thunder's win over the Boston Celtics last night, he broke Wilt Chamberlain's record of longest streak with 20-plus points in a game. It's now at 127 with SGA's name next to it. We want that number to keep growing, you guys. By the way, also, OKC beat Boston. It was a close one, 104-102.
Tell me that's not another MVP season.
I'm telling you, let's go.
The deal last night, that's for sure. Lacey, out the door today?
It's a little chilly this morning, but we're headed to the 70s today. Enjoy your Friday.
We'll see you back here at 9.